like that. Woo!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Twitter, TikTok, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, all of our YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? Hit that notification bell by the subscribe button. Let's get it popping. Wow, talk about shots fired. Shots fired. Um, this is probably going to be the most interesting live that I've done since being with you guys. I just want to also thank tune in, subscribe to the page. You know what I'm saying? Anybody y'all know that loves the game of basketball, loves the NBA, you can always tell them to subscribe to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, the most influential, entertaining podcast out there right now. We're just gonna continue to go and keep moving. Um, I appreciate all y'all. We being my co-host, Rick. We appreciate all the subscribers and all the love y'all give to us. So let's get into it. So I really wasn't even planning on doing this live. Actually, as a matter of fact, if y'all were on earlier, I had said that I was going to do the live about my predictions for the conference finals. You know what I'm saying? Anybody come here at that like button, you know what I'm saying? Like and comment. Um, for those that saw my live this morning, my whole thing tonight was going to be about making my picks between the Mavs and the Warriors and the Heat and the Celtics, right? Because it's the conference finals got starting tomorrow. So, but that's gonna be moved till tomorrow morning because I started seeing a lot of different things about this whole this situation we're about to talk about today, and I didn't really know what the uproar was about until I saw some of the videos pertaining to the situation. And once I heard who was involved, it was like, oh man, let me go check this out. So I go on YouTube and Instagram and start seeing, different videos got by these two, man. And it really, I was like, I gotta do a video on this. My live gotta be on this tonight because this is what's hot on the block. Um, so what am I talking about? The whole Pat Bev and Chris Paul situation, man. Um, hold on one second. Get it right. Let me get it right. Right. Pat Bev and Chris Paul. Salute, play for keep. What's up, my guy? Appreciate you calling in today, bro. All love. Um, the whole Pat Bev and Chris Paul situation, man. Now, everybody that knows, like, what I'm saying, I support the LA Clippers. That's my team. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi, my favorite player. Paul George, Mook, Terrence, man, Nicholas Batum, all the guys on the Clippers, you know what I'm saying? I support, I rock with them. I go to the games, know some people on the staff. Like that's my squad, right? So Pat Bev, I'm very familiar with. I've been following Pat Bev since he got into the league, honestly, since he's played with the Houston Rockets. I've been following Pat Bev actually before that when he was somebody that was playing overseas, in Russia to, trying to get a deal in the NBA. I've been following Pat Bev's story and everything like that. So very familiar with Pat Bev. Of course, Chris Paul, one of the best point guards of all time. CP3, he was with the Clippers for, period of time. As a matter of fact, I feel like they should have got a championship with Lob City with him, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. Like they should have had a championship. But, for whatever reason, the Clippers just always seem to fall short when they're supposed to get stuff done. But that's for another live. I'm very familiar with these two. And they're more in my opinion, they're more similar than different. And I'll explain what I'm talking about later on to live. But Pat Bev and Chris Paul have somewhat of a rivalry, man. They have somewhat of I don't know if it's personal, but they have some type of weird energy amongst each other where they always seem to be finding themselves attached to one another, right? Smooth shot for Y2 was good, bro. Was good. CP my favorite point guard, but it's hard when you hear all those behind the scenes stuff he do. But I love Pat Bev. Yeah, pull up a chair, pull up. What's up, big fella? Sucker updates. Yeah, we're gonna get into all that, Smooth. We're gonna get into all this, what Pat Bev had to say, all the gems he dropped. And we're not just gonna talk about the Chris Paul, we're gonna talk about a lot of other things with the Suns, Devin Booker, how he, pretty much took the curtains out this today, man. As far as I'm concerned, Pat Bev pretty much engaged in a lot of locker room talk, and he let it behind the scenes. So you guys gonna hear all my opinions, what I think about what Pat Bev said. Do I think he crossed the line with what he was doing, and was there any truth to what he was saying? Right? You know what I'm saying? So let's stick with the Pat Bev and Chris Paul situation though. They have a weird energy going on between them. As a matter of fact, this goes back to like I believe around high school. For y'all don't know that JJ Redick, the guy who was actually sitting across from Chris Paul today or beside him this morning, is actually one of Pat Bev's, favorite players and closest friends. It seemed like JJ Redick has his own podcast where he has NBA players on. You know, what I'm saying discuss basketball. Very good podcast, and he actually had Pat Bev on his show, and they touched on Chris Paul quite a bit. And Pat Bev for a while, he was talking about Chris Paul and that relationship they have, and it all started with the whole actual thing where he pushed Chris Paul. Y'all remember that in the conference finals where he pushed Chris Paul in the back, on the verge of the Clippers being eliminated by the Suns in the playoffs last season. And JJ Redick pretty much asked him, hey, what was that about? And Pat Bev kind of brushed it off and said, hey, we have somewhat of a relationship, and it was just in the heat of the moment. And it was no big deal. I called Chris up after the game, apologized, and that was that. But then here come Pat Bev again, um, pretty much called him out on public television. So I'm a little bit kind of certain that they have some type of personal thing going on there. Um, Pat Bev and Chris Paul actually, played against each other in like I think a camp is what he was talking about in JJ Redick's podcast. They had a camp they went to, and for the most part, Pat Bev said that he was actually killing Chris Paul in that camp. Whenever they faced off against each other, Pat Bev usually got the best of him. Now, people don't know Pat Bev was actually somebody that averaged, I think, over 30 points at his high school. We all know that Pat Bev is known as a defensive player, but he also, in high school, he was a very, very, very high level offensive player. But it wasn't until he was getting to the NBA, he realized he needed to play more and focus on defense to be more of a vital piece in the NBA because there's so much talent. Salute my guy, Tune in Sports. Tune in Sports said Pat Bev is a competitor. I rock with Pat Bev, man. We're gonna talk about that. Smooth shot for YT said, nah, he said Book got the face for it. Even Stephen A had to chuckle at man, listen, man. There was so many, we're gonna talk about that. Pat basically came out and said, look, man, I was better than Chris Paul. I got the best of him, and basically going out the fact that he looks at Chris Paul different than what the masses look at. The almighty great Chris Paul, that the media, a lot of fans look at, him, his game as a Hall of Famer. Pat Bev looks at it like, he's just another Joe out there, and who fell into a really good situation. Had I got into it, I could have been as great as him. That's how I feel Pat Bev feels, just by the vibe of his interview. Now, Chris Paul criticism. We're going to go into this thing right now. One of the key highlights of that whole, because it's about an hour episode, Pat Bev was talking about this, and he touched on a lot of things, and he engaged on a lot of stuff that NBA players, how they feel about Chris Paul. And just by what Pat Bev was talking about, I was like, there's some truth to this. Because when you're a player, there's usually a code that you do not break when it comes to, NBA players. Like when you're amongst your peers, then there's just certain things that are kept behind the scenes you don't engage in. So once that line is crossed, or when somebody starts, indulging on personal secret information, then you kind of know there's some truth to it. Because first of all, we all know Pat Bev's a pretty upfront guy. And usually people like that, you don't really have to question, are they telling the truth or not? Because they're too honest. You know what I mean? Regardless if you don't like Pat Bev or not, one thing about him, you can always say he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's an upfront dude. So I could kind of hear his side and kind of take some take some onus to it. So what Pat Bev basically doing, what he said was, hey, there's people in the league that feel this way. I'm just the weatherman. He said that I'm just the weatherman reporting the weather. And in other words, I'm just the guy here just telling y'all what's said behind closed doors that other players won't say. And Stephen A. Smith was right across the way, not really even disagreeing with what Pat Bev was saying. If anything, Stephen A. Smith in the media seems to protect Chris Paul. And y'all know Pat Bev don't care. He'll say whatever, whatever's on his mind. Now, one of the things he talked about with Chris Paul was saying that the standard that they hold him to as the greatest of all time, or one of the greatest of all time, he feels like they need to also give him some criticism, some slander for what happened in that game on Saturday or on Sunday, yesterday. What happened with the Suns, which is an all-time embarrassment debacle, and they feel like they don't give Chris Paul enough criticism. He brought up Paul George, he brought up Ben Simmons and James Harden. They've gotten killed by the media for what they've done. Paul George in a bubble, Ben Simmons last year with the shot, no shot on the basket, and then James Harden what he did again the other day against the Miami Heat. The media killed them. But Chris Paul, we've seen him multiple times flame out in big moments. And like I said, I'm a Clippers supporter, so I know some of his flame outs, with the Clippers, that, when they had the better team, they didn't get the job done. Talk about Chris Paul last year in the playoffs where he disappeared for like 3 straight games. And then you talk about this series where it wasn't just game 7, he disappeared. He disappeared for 5 straight games straight. From games 3 to 7, he disappeared from the series. Since he's turned 37 years old, he has nowhere been found, right? You're right, TuneIn Sports, he don't sugarcoat nothing. Pat Bev don't tell it like it is. So basically what I'm saying is Bat Bev was basically going in on Chris Paul and saying, like, if y'all want to put him on that level, man, we're going to have to critique him. Y'all give this guy a pass. This is what's, he's telling Stephen A. Smith. He even told JJ Redick, like, who kind of tried to, be the middleman. Pat Bev was basically just letting all the laundry out. He spoke about how, and this is what really was crazy. He said, man, nobody's scared of Chris Paul. Nobody's worried about the Phoenix Suns like that in the NBA. He spoke about how Chris Paul's defense was overrated. He don't play no defense. Now, this was something I actually had to think about for a minute because y'all know Chris Paul, he's actually he's known for being a pretty good defender. He's a 7-time All-NBA first defensive team, a 2-time All-Defensive second team. So he has 9 All-NBA defensive teams. So usually you would think for his career, I think he's like in his 18th year. That's pretty good for somebody of that caliber to be a 9-time All-Defensive player. So I'm like, what the hell Pat Bev talking about? But then I thought about a little bit. I've seen a little bit in this series a lot that Jalen Brunson has been exposing his defense. Of course, Luka Doncic, being great as he is, exposed them. And even Spencer Dinwiddie, like Chris Paul, like, and I have to go back and watch. Recently, yeah, he's a tough-nosed defender. Like, he'll try, but he also does a lot of fouling, grabbing, holding, that the refs kind of let go. And Pat Bev was just like, yo, like, his defense is not like how y'all making it out to be. More locker room talk, right? So my whole thing with that was just like, okay, well, maybe his defense isn't all that. So he's telling all these gems, he's dropping all these gems, and I'm just like, wow, like Pat Bev is really letting the laundry out. And he just he just basically said that let me remember what he said. He said, yeah, like just hold him to the same standard as everybody else. He talked about, how the Phoenix Suns also, he feel like they're overrated. Like, how does a team, all they did was benefit from not being able to play the best people in the best competition. He reverted back to a situation last year, and I talked about this. Y'all know how I feel about this. they talk a lot of trash and front run when they got the upper hand. Anybody disagree with me can comment in the comment section. But the Suns, they were feeling themselves for an entire year after benefiting from other teams being hurt. Y'all already know what happened in the conference finals last year when they faced Kawhi Leonard or faced the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard wasn't there. And he made it very clear that if Kawhi Leonard was healthy, the Suns are not going to the finals. And I knew that from jump because I was very like y'all can ask Clipper fans. I was very upset that Kawhi got hurt because I knew we were going to go to the finals and I knew we could win the NBA finals last year. I had no worries about. I felt very good with Kawhi going up against Giannis last year because he already done beat him 3 years ago. So I was very comfortable with seeing that happen. But of course, injuries are a part of the game. But he said the Suns did a lot of front running and talking without really having to be an established team. And then they got humbled. Y'all saw with Cameron Payne and him and LeBron got into an exchange. And LeBron was yelling out to Cameron Payne, you were just at home last year. Now you want to pop off, be humble. So you saw that from, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Cameron Payne. A lot of those guys were talking a lot of trash. And usually when you do that, you tend to be humbled. Now they got beat by a guy in Luka Doncic who talks more trash than they do. So now they kind of look silly for being that team that was, talking all that mess. So it's just funny how life works. So basically, y'all know he said that the Suns, they have not been established enough to be the media has rated the Suns higher than what they need to be rated. Yeah, they had a great season, but they benefited from the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Pelicans, the Warriors for a short period of time without Draymond. A lot of people were hurt. All the teams were hurt in the Western Conference. But here comes the Suns, who have been the healthiest team all year, and they got the benefit of being, health on their side, and they got exposed. And they just didn't get beat. They got destroyed. Like there was 27-17 in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter they scored 10 points, and then half was at 57-27. So basically what happened was the defense of Dallas pretty much exploited the Suns' offense, and then of course Luka just finished it off with his scoring. Now Pat Bev said also something very interesting too. He said, and this is something that as a hooper you kind of tell. This is what he was saying. He said they were scared from the jump of Luka Doncic. Like they were scared of him. Like they didn't want no parts of him. They already knew what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew deep down, like they knew like they were like not being aggressive. And I had to watch the game a little bit before I got on this live to see what we see you talking about. And I did kind of see a little bit of that. I saw Chris Paul not being that aggressive floor general that he usually is. I saw him getting the rebound immediately, not even putting the ball on the floor, just throwing it out. Like I saw him, attacking the basket or getting to the key and then just trying to get the ball out of his hands. So maybe anxiety. I wouldn't call it fear, more anxiety. Like if they lost this game, then you know what to come. But they definitely weren't playing relaxed out there. The Mavs were playing loose. Luka Doncic was, reading plays and taking his time. Spencer Dinwiddie was hitting shots. Jalen Brunson got going in the third quarter with 12, I think 10 straight points. So they were just the better team. They were trapping on defense, taking the ball out of Chris Paul and then, forcing Booker out of his hands. So they came on the game plan and executed and they just looked ready. So the Suns definitely have been exposed. And at this point, it's kind of like, if I'm Chris Paul or if I'm Devin Booker, where I go from here? He said, I never had the Suns as favorites last year or this year. It's true they got to the finals off injuries. Even PG got two on them without Kawhi. Yeah. Even Paul George. And then another thing he also touched on too. Thanks for that comment, too, for sports. This is how I know the media don't really like the Clippers. Because I just read it like more when I listen to shows. Like they were very seldom on giving the Clippers credit. They've been talking about the Lakers, who've been a disaster, clown show for over a year. All this TV time, they get talked about the most, and I get it. Like you got LeBron James there, and they're gonna be getting all the most of the publicity and exposure because of money and ratings. But my thing is like it's so obvious that they play favoritism. And I think a lot of people are tired of hearing these sports shows now. Like even myself, I do this a lot for y'all because I want to give y'all some real content as a player. Because I think people are tired of the agendas of these regular sports shows who don't know much about the game, who come on just to come for shock ratings, and they just be talking about players without having any real information. That's why players need to be more on these talk shows. But pretty much back to the point, the Phoenix Suns got exposed, man. And if I'm Chris Paul, Devin Booker, um, I don't know where I go from here. Pat Bev also said, it's gonna be a lot stronger in the West like next year, and that's definitely true. Everybody's gonna be healthy again. Everybody's gonna be 100%. Everybody's gonna have another year under their belt. So you're the only team Chris. It's almost like the Suns reached their peak. Chris Paul's 37. Um, DeAndre Ayton, they're talking about him. He might end up leaving if he gets a bigger contract. He didn't really play. I think he played 17 minutes in Game 7, which I just think that was something where, yeah, he had foul trouble in the first half, but he didn't really get the chance to play in the second half. Instead, they played Chris Paul. Monty Williams played Chris Paul. So I don't know. I think Monty Williams and DeAndre Ayton had somewhat of a exchange with each other. Basically, Monty Williams telling DeAndre Ayton that he quit, so that can end bad actually for the Suns. But what's crazy is my last coach, my semi-pro coach, he actually coached DeAndre Ayton in high school. Talks to him to this day. Very close to him. So he kind of gave me kind of the scoop about what's going on with that situation, and he told me even before the season started, like last year, that it's already in the works that DeAndre Ayton is about to leave out of Phoenix. That he's about to, they're already working to get him out of there. They didn't give him the super max contract. He feel like he worked the max dollars, and it's no point for him to come back to Phoenix. But this situation, what happened yesterday, and if this exchange is true with Monty Williams, this is all even more icing on the cake that he probably ain't gonna come back. So it's a good chance that y'all won't see DeAndre Ayton next year, or he's gonna be out very soon. He said, "BJ, can't Chris Paul opt out this season and go to a different team?" I just saw. Thanks for that comment, pleasure. Keep. I think that she signed out till 2024. I think he got one more year and then he can opt out. But I think he got another year in his contract. He even said on the podium that he'll be back to play. Him and Booker, they'll be back next year. So they're gonna go for another. They're gonna go for it one more time to see what happens. So I think they're pretty much locked in. Place for Keith. Appreciate that comment. He said Pat Bev is the ultimate overachiever. I don't think that he is that good on defense, but boy, can he hustle. Jason Kidd double teamed Booker, and Paul had to work on defense. All facts. Pat Bev, like I just mentioned earlier in the live, he was actually a great overall player in high school. I think he was in Chicago, which is a very tough city in basketball. Like he was the best player in the city. This was the time they had Derrick Rose and Sharon Collins and guys like that, top level point guards at that time. And Pat Bev was, he went to Marshall High School on the west side of Chicago, which is like a rough area. Some of my family's from over there. They they preach basketball over there. So if you're able to get on the court over there, then you got some game. And Pat Bev was the best player in the city, I think, his senior year. But then he went to college. He was a freshman of the year at Alabama. Um, but he had to take a new role into playing defense to get into the NBA because he was having trouble getting in because it was, he was focused so much on offense that he said, basically, I got to change my way to defense. So yeah, that's facts. But yeah, Jason Kidd had the right plan to double team Book right away. Chris Paul had to work on defense. You know, and I don't know why they stopped attacking Luka Doncic. I don't know what happened, but they allowed Luka Doncic just to get happy. Like I told y'all, I'm not concerned with Luka Doncic having 30, 40 points. You have to make him work on defense. If you don't make him work on defense, then he's almost like he's too comfortable. He's up there smiling, skipping up the court, laughing. No pressure on him at all to play D. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. TuneIn Sports said, "Would you have paid CT get that contract?" Uh, I would, yes, at the time because the way he changed that team around. Because what he did his first year, he was able to get them, I think, the second seed in the West last year and the first seed this year. Like you guys remember, the Suns weren't even scratching the playoffs when they had Booker. Like they weren't even scratching; they were having bad seasons. I think, and Booker was there for like four straight years before they didn't even make the playoffs. So now that you got CP3, he turned that like yeah, you have to pay him. They got to the finals their first year, so you have to pay him the money. So I don't think they made a mistake. So that's kind of the big thing. Let me go back to a few more points, and then we can go on to the next thing. I'll let y'all in here. But they also talk about Devin Booker. Pat Bev talked about Devin Booker. He talked about Devin Booker pretty much saying that he could be the face of the league. Um, but he also brought up the fact that Devin Booker has not been proven yet, like the Phoenix Suns players, to have that title. That he puts him in a category with Luka Doncic, Trey Young. I'm gonna add a few other names like Donovan Mitchell, the young guns who are still trying to prove themselves. Jason Tatum, those guys, the 23 to 25-year-olds. That's who Devin Booker belongs in the league with, or in the category with. But they they trying to make Devin Booker the face of the league, but he has not accomplished anything until this season to be in that elite company. And he was Pat Bev is very, very controversial. I don't know if he just does it for ratings or that's pretty much how he is. Like he's always looking for a reason why. Like I think one question was Stephen A asked him, is Chris Paul, is he is what did he ask him? He said something about Chris Paul. Do you feel like he's overrated? And Pat Bill was like, define overrated. It's like everything was a question with a question. So he understands the game. That's the one thing I will give Pat Bev credit for. He's very knowledgeable of the game. With all the antics and shit that he do, he's very knowledgeable of X's and O's schemes. Understand different personalities. Like every team he's been on, Houston, the Clippers, and now the Timberwolves have all been playoff teams. So his impact is not on the numbers; it's on his role on the team, and he's able to make other guys better. So that's one thing you will say. That's I always tell about Pat Bev. You love him when he's on your team. You hate him when he's not on your team. So that's the type of player that you need. Um, and it's gonna really have to be something where Phoenix is gonna have to like I don't know what happens to this team. You know, they've really been humbled, to be honest with you. They got so high so quick, and then they benefited from this year, like most teams not being healthy. To now, it's like, okay, this was supposed to be another year for you to get to the finals. Like you got there last year, and you got beat by Milwaukee. Now you got a taste of that. Now it's time for you to get back to the finals. You have more people getting injured this year. You still don't make it. It's like where do you go from here? It's like where do you where do you go from here? So If you ask me, was Pat Bev right or wrong? Let me also say this. If you ask me if Pat Bev was right or wrong, or how I feel about it, from what he talked about with, you know, all the Suns players, and then with Devin Booker, with Chris Paul, um, holding people accountable, um, being honest. I think he said a lot of good points. I'm not gonna lie, I really do. I think Pat Bev is the person that is gonna up the ratings, but he's also gonna tell truth. He's gonna be honest about things, and that's what they need on these panels. And they actually need from a player's perspective, not just having a watered down answer, politically correct to kind of for people to kind of just take whatever the media tells them and just run with it, because it's a breath of fresh air when you actually get accurate information, right? So I was actually very entertained by what Pat Bev said, and I think Chris Paul is a Hall of Famer for sure. I do think Chris Paul is a top 75 player for sure, and all that. I definitely think do I put him as a top five point guard? I would hold off on that, but he's definitely one of the top point guards of all time. You gotta give him credit, and but doesn't mean that he can't have no slander. Like, think about it. A lot of these other players like get called out. Paul George, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis, um, all these other great players who've done more than Chris Paul get slandered for not performing. But for whatever reason, Chris Paul gets a pass from the media, and I think it's because of he's the president of the NBPA, and he has a lot of bearing in the league. And a lot of players do not like Chris Paul. That's like not even that's actually a known fact. A lot of people don't like Chris Paul. A lot of players don't. So all Pat Bev was pretty much doing was releasing a lot of information that players be thinking. No cap. If Pat was on these shows, I would start watching it against him. And yeah, if Pat Bev is entertaining, man, but he's also funny, and he also uses his witty to kind of be funny as well. Very sarcastic, very fun, like very lighthearted. I can see Pat Bev having his own podcast. I'll listen to that every day. Doncic is not your normal young player. He started with Real Madrid at the age of 13. Doncic has been playing with grown men at the age of 50, so he's a season. Yeah, Luka Doncic, and he also mentioned Luka too. Pat Bev gave him his flowers, basically saying that you gotta worry about Luka Doncic. You gotta be on your A game, and I definitely agree with him on the offensive end. That's it, because if you make him work on defense, then he's a liability too. But it's definitely on the offensive end. Luka's is that guy, one of those guys. But yeah, he got a lot of he got off on a good start early by being a part of that European culture. So that's kind of big time for him. But I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all in here, man. Anybody want to come here and chop it up, talk about Pat Bev, Chris Paul, how y'all felt about it? Do y'all feel like he was right? Y'all feel like he was wrong? Get into it. All right, got the got the link in there. Y'all feel free chop it up, and I just think that it's time to have these players to come out here. I think there's going to be more people coming out speaking out, because if all Pat Bev was doing was relaying information that other players are thinking, I don't really see how he was in the. I mean, definitely locker room talk, but I mean, he wasn't saying anything that other people weren't thinking. You know what I'm saying? And then I saw also a post from Damian Lillard, and I was kind of confused. He said, Pat Bev's kind of sound like a clown, and going off of somebody's downfall, praying for somebody's downfall. and things of that nature. And I'm kind of like a little bit confused because I don't think Dame and CP3 are even cool like that. So I didn't understand why he felt the need to come and jump in that conversation. And really, Pat Bev, like I said, didn't say anything wrong. He didn't say anything wrong in that whole soliloquy. So I don't know why he chose not to even. I don't know why he chose to even jump in. To be quite honest with you, but he did that. So um, that's what it was. He said Lillard wants to be relevant. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Lillard, man. Honestly, thanks for that comment, Mr. Thomas. Dame, he gonna have to. He really this season gonna really prove something about Dame. Like even with him staying with Portland, like he says he's staying because he wants to be loyal to the soil. He wants to go through the process. But my thing is like, do you want to win, Dame, or do you want to just be in Portland and just get your numbers? What do you want? Like, I don't know. I just think, just with that comment and some of the other things that Dame been doing, it's like kind of like, bro, kind of you like Miss Wanda has said, kind of seem like you just want to be relevant. You know what I mean? Hey, Bubba, send another request, man. It's not letting me let you in. You gotta send me another one. Exit out the live and then get back in. Shit, trying to let Bubba in, man. You gotta probably turn your mic on. Say Lillard looked like a when he faced the Clippers after talking in the bubble. Yeah. Okay, there we go. What up, Bubba?
What's up, DJ?
Oh man, what you think about that whole situation, man?
So, Patrick Beverley kept it 100, like as he was supposed to, being a player and being in the locker room. Like we are not in the locker room, so we don't really know how players feel about Chris Paul. He said everything right. The only thing he said that I kind of disagreed with him as a Philly fan was to give James Harden that supermax contract. But I mean, I just think that was his former teammate, so he was trying to stand up for him. I kind of get it. He wants everybody to get their money, which is cool. But if I'm Philly, I don't give him that supermax. That's the only thing I disagree with him on. But in terms of the other stuff that he said, everything he said was he wasn't lying. Like nobody's scared of Phoenix. Like if you're sitting in the locker room getting ready to play somebody, you're not scared of them because if you're scared of somebody, what I'm saying, it kind of messes up with your mental approach to the game. So nobody's really scared of them. But I heard some people calling the Phoenix Suns frauds. Well, I would say that yeah, you can consider them being frauds because all the success they had from last year up to this point, what I'm saying, you can say that it's it's a little bit of luck because you faced the Lakers in the first round, which Anthony Davis was injured. You're able to get through them. You face Denver; they don't have a healthy Jamal Murray. You face the Clippers; we don't have Kawhi Leonard. And people forget we didn't have Ivica Zubac in game 3, 4, and 5, if I'm not mistaken, because he was also dealing with knee injuries. You run into the finals
Mhm.
and you face the Milwaukee Bucks with a healthy team. You lose to them. You come
Mhm.
back. You come back this year. You face the Pelicans, who didn't have Zion Williamson. You're able to roll past them, but you face a healthy team in the Dallas Mavericks, and they kind of expose you. They exposed Devin Booker's defense, and they exposed Chris Paul's defense. You know what I'm saying? So if you say if anyone says that they're frauds, I kind of agree with them. But as far as is Chris Paul a Hall of Famer? Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? He's a top 75 player. We get all of that. He's one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game. And will he ever win a championship? I don't know. We'll have to see about that. And somebody asked if would you give him that contract that they gave him at that time? Yeah, because he turned the franchise around. Because up until that point, they had not even made the playoffs before. Devin Booker's talking all this junk, but he has never made the playoffs before. Up if
Mm.
Chris Paul doesn't show up, Devin Booker is still. I don't think he makes an All NBA team this year. You know what I'm saying? So he has to give a lot of credit. A lot of his success goes to Chris Paul, and Phoenix have to give him that contract because he takes your team to the finals. You know what I'm saying? The next year, you can't predict what can happen. Y'all might win it. And as far as the Phoenix Suns moving forward, I would say trade Jay Crowder and get a better power forward. Jay Crowder is undersized. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really see him in this series. They took him out too. He wasn't making shots. His defense was
Yeah.
exposed. What'd you say?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. You in the series, you know what I'm saying? Your defense gets exposed. You couldn't contain Luka. You know what I'm saying? You're not hitting shots. You know what I'm saying? So I would say you trade him and try to get probably a John Collins, because John Collins can knock down 3-pointers and he gets more rebounds than Jay Crowder. So that's my whole thing.
Yeah, that's good takes, bro. As far as the first thing I forgot to even mention, I'm glad you brought it up, but with James Harden, he definitely was capping for it. And that was one thing I did not agree with. Like
Yeah.
Pat Bev said he would give him the supermax, and I'm like, I listened to what he was saying, but I'm just like, man, it's clear that you talking because that's your friend because
That's your former teammate.
it's
You're
your
trying to
former
stand up
team.
for him.
Yeah, and I respect it, but come on, like, why would you give that guy a max contract over somebody like if especially you can dump him to get another player like a Damian Lillard or a Bradley Beal or a Donovan Mitchell, like you James Harden is not going to get you a championship, and that's what we have to judge him by. They didn't bring him to Philly to just get to the playoffs. They brought him in to
To
compete
win
for
it
a
all.
championship.
Yep.
They brought him in to compete for a championship, man. And you can't set the bar low for him to say, "Oh, yeah, he can get you he can get to the playoffs. He can do this, that, but he can't get you a championship. Like, you're wasting your time." I mentioned earlier, I said Embiid has not had a real co-star to help him. Like, his co-stars have let him down, starting with Ben Simmons, then moving to James Harden. So you need to, if you can get him off your books and get a very quality second piece, that's what you got to pull that trigger.
Absolutely. I had a question that with Patrick Beverley saying that he should give us Anthony Edwards so they can take James Harden.
What you talking about? You talking about the Clippers or the
No, I'm
Sixers?
talking about the Timberwolves. He's saying that he would give James Harden that supermax. And I'm just saying, like, hypothetical speaking, he should give Sixers Anthony Edwards and take James Harden and try and win a championship with them.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do that.
Absolutely.
He loved that. He loved Ant Edwards, man. He loved
Absolutely.
that. I feel like if the Sixers give James Harden that supermax, Embiid needs to leave because what you're essentially saying is you're gonna mess up your franchise and you're gonna hold me back in my prime. So why would I continue to stay here if you're not gonna, be invested in getting a championship?
Right.
There's no reason to keep James Harden there, man. I felt even with Pat Bev talking, he also said something about that next year he don't feel like this. Like he said, the Suns, nobody fears them, and I feel like I was just like surprised how much locker room talk he was, saying.
Yeah, when he brought up Paul George's name, I was like, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, man. He said, "Oh, I didn't know he was gonna say." He's like, "Yeah, I talked to PG last night, and he was just like, yeah, like we don't like nobody fears the Suns, like which I got that point. Like I was saying that throughout the season, I'm like the Suns are not as good as people are
think they are.
proclaiming to be. They're not that team. I was looking at them even when we played them this year, and the Suns were it was close games. Like they're supposed to be blowing the Clippers out without PG and Kawhi. Nicholas Batum missed some games. They were sticking with the Suns. So
Yeah.
I kind of knew the Suns were not all that great of a team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So um, do you think Pat Bev will be back on the show?
I mean, I loved it with him on the show because he kept it so real. Like, there's a lot of things that JJ Redick won't say because I don't know if he's trying to keep relationships, but Patrick Beverly's ready to keep it real. Like, but the one thing I had with Patrick Beverly was he wasn't being professional. He was like going raw, uncut, saying it like it is. Like, sometimes you have to, like our other brother said, tune in Sports One. He says he doesn't
Mhm.
sugarcoat it. I believe that sometimes you got to sugarcoat it a little bit, even though you have to be just say what you want to say, but you have to like polish it a little bit because you're a professional.
But yeah, I hear you. I think he's. You know what? I definitely agree with that. I think I said Pat's really actually very smart, intelligent. But I think, like you said, it's such thing as being too honest. Where that's why I think Pat would do better on his own podcast than he would on TV because he would be too much for television mainstream media. He he needs his own platform, his own podcast where he can call his own shots. He don't have to answer to nobody because he'll say something on television and it'll be just going too far. And
Right, right. That's what I'm saying. Yep.
yeah, give him his own podcast, allow him to say what he wants to say, and then take it from there. Um, keep hitting that likes button, y'all. Um, how do you when you hear about Chris Paul, do you think there's some jealousy there in that situation? Do you think there's some personal feelings that Pat Bev has towards Chris Paul on some of the things that he was talking about?
I mean, as you said, like they have a history when they played at a camp or something like that. So, that shows that they have a history. Like they go way back. So I felt like he kind of used a little bit of that feelings to say I don't think he crossed the line, but he was saying like he didn't cross the line, but he was saying a lot of stuff that an ordinary person would not say. He went overboard, but I don't think there's any personal jealousy or anything of that sort. He was just keeping it real, as a player, showing us a little bit of insight in the locker room. I mean, Chris Paul hasn't won a championship, so why would Patrick Beverly be jealous of him? You know,
Yeah, that's true. I
right?
I, I think what and a lot of stuff he was talking about when he said to Stephen A. Smith like he can't guard. Like when he said he can't guard, I think this is what I think Pat Bev. You gotta remember like Pat Bev's one of the best defenders in the league.
Absolutely.
So when his standards and his criteria is different from a regular person or a regular player, like you may think he's a great defender, Chris Paul, but to Pat Bev, he's like, man, this guy's below average. Like this guy ain't no great defender. So I had to kind of think about, okay, put myself in Pat Bev's shoes. He felt like he was better in high school. He felt like Chris Paul just got into a good situation and got a lot of breaks. And Pat Bev looks at it like, yo, I can do things just like he can do. We're on the same level, even though that y'all accomplished the same. But he feels in his heart that had he had a situation like CP3, that he could have done the same thing. So he's not in awe of Chris Paul like a lot of other basketball analysts or basketball players and stuff like that. He's not in awe of Chris Paul. He looks like Chris Paul as a person, like as a peer.
Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, like Chris Paul has made more all defensive teams than Patrick Beverley. You know, Chris Paul, if I'm not mistaken, has led the league in steals like either 2 or 3 times, you know, back in his Clipper days. So, you know, you can say right now he doesn't play defense, which I'll totally agree. But back in the day, he used to play defense. You know, you don't make 9 all defensive teams without playing defense. If you say
Yeah,
now, I kind of agree.
yeah. Chris Paul definitely. I don't think, like I said, with Pat Bev, I think when he said that, I think he's looking at like Pat Bev is a tough nose, in your face, will guard the best player defense. That's the type of
Right.
defender he is. So I think that's how Pat Bev looks at Chris Paul. Like he said, I do things that Chris Paul can't do. Even though he got 9 defensive all teams, I I'm a lockdown defender. But the thing about Pat Bev, I don't know if he understands or what if he just forgets or he doesn't say it. CP3 has to worry about playing offense and playmaking too.
Right.
So Pat Bev, don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about being a playmaker like that. So Chris Paul has the responsibility of doing that and playing defense. It's kind of it's a different role he has to be put in. So I don't think he's saying he's better than Chris Paul by any means, but I think he feels as if he was in the same situation, had the same system as Chris Paul, same support system, that he can have some of the success that he has. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think I don't think Patrick Beverley thinks he's better than Chris Paul. I mean, I watched one of his Instagram lives right
mm,
before the season started. Like this was in late September last year, and he was mentioning people that would go in the Hall of Fame. You know, he said Chris Paul, and he said Chris Paul was cold. You know what I'm saying? That he plays elite defense on Chris Paul. You know what I'm saying? He didn't disrespect him in any kind of way. You know, so I don't really think that he feels that he's better than him. Maybe he might have been better than him when they was in high school offensively, because you said Patrick Beverley averaged like 30 points per game in his high school. So yeah, he might feel like he's better than him offensively, but in terms of NBA wise, Patrick Beverley knows, and he knows well that Chris Paul is a Hall of Famer and he's not. It just
yeah,
is what it is.
yeah, it is. That's definitely facts. That's definitely facts. And I had to give Chris Paul credit. But I also think that the media, he does have a point that the media does allow CP to a little too much stuff, and that's why I felt it was good to have him on the show to kind of be like, no, we can't give him a pass. Like we can't give him a pass. Like y'all put him as the point guard and the best point guard of all time conversations, but y'all don't want to call out when he fails. Like you can't have it both ways.
Yeah. And Patrick Beverley went on to say that if we're being honest, in the game 7, he should have fouled out because, he was smacking Jalen Brunson on the head, smacking him on the shoulder, and all these kind of ticky-tack
Yeah,
fouls that if it was Patrick Beverley, they would be like, oh, let's review it. Let's give him a flagrant 1, flagrant 2, technical foul. You know what I'm saying? Let's throw him out the game. But because it's CP3, they don't want to do that. So he kind of gets away with those kind of fouls.
right,
But
right.
how he was saying it, like it was like he had some sort of disdain toward Chris Paul. That's why people felt like he was disrespecting Chris Paul. But he was being honest.
I told you, man. Like I said, it's not so much he's jealous. I don't think he's jealous or anything. I just think he looks at Chris Paul like a peer, like from a competitive standpoint. Like when you a player, like and you've busted up somebody like in previous time, you're not in awe of him. Like even though Chris Paul is a Hall of Famer, he's a top 5 point guard, arguably of all time. Pat Bev in his mind looks at Chris Paul like, yo, I can play with this dude.
Yeah.
What's up, my boy Tune? What's good with you, man?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing, bro?
Oh
We
man,
good.
it's all good. It's all love. What you take?
Nah, I just feel like I don't think Pat Bev was wrong. You feel me? Like I feel like he's a competitor. Like I had no issue with what he said. You feel me? Like he can say what he want. He don't bite his tongue for nobody. I respect that about Pat Bev. He don't have to answer to no one. He don't work in the media. He's still an active player. So, but I get what you're saying about the professional thing. But like he's not in the media, so I get what Pat was saying. Like keeping that same energy. Also, like if this was Braun, like wouldn't he get some type of flack if he was to like lay an egg like that against this Mavericks team? Like, remember what,
Mhm.
what happened? What happened with PG? Remember what happened with PG? Pandemic P.
Exactly.
You feel me? And
Yeah.
Kawhi choking that 3-1 lead. Like the
Wait, bro,
media is crazy. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
bro, not to cut you off. The media was going at the Clippers when the Clippers was down to the Mavericks 0-2 last year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like like all the jokes, like playoff. What was it? What was it? Way off P or whatever they
Way off
called
P,
it.
pandemic
Yeah.
P. Yep.
Like they was calling Kawhi and them chokers in a bow. Like they say, like we say this about James Harden. We say this about Russell Westbrook. Remember they said Melo should retire and play in China. Like the real ones knew that Melo could still
Mhm.
hoop, but the media would try to already like get Melo up out of here. Like I know CP3 is a top 10 point of all time. If he's a top 10 of all time, um, keep that same energy. You feel me? Like just keep that same energy.
It's definitely, and this is what I appreciate that, man. What it is just the media, man. Like I said earlier, I said the media does not like the Clippers, man. I've been seeing it all year. They give coverage to the Lakers and teams that are disasters, but they don't want to give coverage to teams that actually deserve it. The Clippers been beating up on the Lakers all year, and every time they beat their ass, they always seem to find ways to say give the Lakers more coverage. So definitely Chris Paul needs more slander. And the fact that he's not getting it is just a testimony that he's definitely protected by the media. So, unfortunately, as long as the media is involved, the mainstream, they kind of dictate the masses how they think, unless you actually do your own research or you have people in those circles, like a Pat Bev, who's able to like set the record straight.
Help controlling the narratives and everything.
Yep, yep. Let me ask y'all this question: how do y'all feel about Pat Bev being on the show as a regular? Or do y'all feel like he's too raw? Or do y'all feel like he's somewhat a breath of fresh air for what they need? How do y'all feel about Pat Bev being there like as a constant person for the rest of the playoffs?
Oh, I mean, I love Pat Bev, bro. Like he's one of my favorites. I have no problem with him being like a regular. Like if he was honestly a regular on the show, bro. Like I've been stopped watching like First Take and what's the other show, Undisputed.
Hmm.
I catch it on like YouTube. You know how you see the little clips here and there. Like that's how I see it. But I've been stopped watching it like on TV because I'm tired of them like not telling the whole truth. You feel me? So if Pat Bev was definitely on the show, bro, like no cap, I would definitely tune in because he's just so real and authentic about what he said. Like I know he's not lying. He's going to give it to you. Like him and like guys like we could say Draymond Green, I guess.
Hmm.
So I definitely respect Pat Bev. Him and his honesty, like keeping it honest and everything. Like him and JJ, like I would like to see them on the show, like or like what you said, a podcast. Like I wouldn't mind seeing them two do something.
See, and that's why these podcasts are so big, man. Like, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that don't go sit on the mainstream media that are protected and covered up that the masses don't know about. And I'm thinking we're in the age now where a lot of these players are starting to do these podcasts while they're playing. Like we got Draymond Green, JJ Redick, CJ McCollum had a podcast. Like a lot of these players, man, are gonna start coming out and start
Hey, don't
speaking.
don't don't forget about the role plays. Ryan Hollins and I think
Ryan
Gordon
Hollins,
Hayward got one too.
exactly, bro. Those guys, is that, you know what I'm saying? They got podcasts when they speaking, what's really going on, and they're not gonna like just allow the media just to dictate their own narrative, because that's the reason why I do this, because people need to hear from a player's perspective of how things really go on in here, and like stop sugarcoating
Hmm.
stuff. And yeah, man. And this comment said, do you guys think Paul is too old, or do you think he has more years left everywhere he has been turned into? I'm gonna let y'all answer it. Bub, I'm gonna start with you, and then what's your name, boy? Tune, that's your name?
Yeah, I'm tuning sports.
Okay, Tune, this boy, my guy, my guy. Um, Bubba, what you think about that? You think Paul's too old for a championship, or do you think he still got some time?
I mean, yeah, he's too old, but he still has time left in the tank. Like, I don't feel like he can't play. He can definitely play, but he's getting up there in terms of the age. But he can. I feel like he can be a starter for a championship team in the future.
Okay.
The fact that he came up short doesn't mean that it's because he's too old. I don't believe that.
Okay. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, I think Chris Paul is he still could play at a level on the championship team. I think his window is closing. It's like it's right there. Like I don't know how the situation gonna work with him or Booker, and I know DeAndre Ayton might leave, so I don't know who they like would be that third guy. But yeah, I think Chris Paul he still got something in the tank. He just went up against he went up against Luca, man. Luca and that Mavs team, man. What Jason Kidd doing with that Mavs team was like it's like great. I just think his window closings, but he still got something left in the tank. But his window is definitely closing, so they need to make something happen.
So who your? I know Bubba's team is who's your team?
I'm a Cavs fan, bro.
Okay, so you like Darius Garland and them over there.
Yeah, those my guys. Yeah, those
Y'all
my
got a
guys.
nice little
We got a
core
nice
there.
young core, man. Yeah, I felt like we should have been in the playoffs, but it's the play in. I had no power with the play in, bro. It is what it is. Just gotta win next time.
I don't feel like the play-in. That's my thing is with the play-in. To me, if you are eighth seed and you earned that spot, that's how it should be. Like I don't feel like if you are ninth or tenth, like you missed your shot, like you missed a chance of being in the playoffs. So now what happens is, say you guys lose a game and y'all to make the playoffs. Now the first seed gets to play really a ninth or tenth seed instead of playing the actual eighth seed that should have been there in the first place.
I think I think it's like more. I think it makes it competitive. Like you get more competitive games, but they put it in place for like so teams won't tank as much because teams was tanking. I think
Hmm.
like I didn't like it, but then again I'm like okay maybe it is a good idea. It's some more games that's being competitive. It definitely helped the Lakers out. What was that last year or whatever?
Hmm.
Yep, yep. Give them the seventh spot.
What if teams like say teams
No,
with injuries though?
not to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
The Lakers was the seventh seed heading into the play-in last year.
Hmm.
Yep, that's all I want to say.
But if they would have like handled their business, they could have gotten a play-in this year. But
Right.
they laid the egg. But like that's what I'm saying. Like teams like with injuries, you don't feel like that like help them out also. Like if you have a star that's out, that get them an opportunity like to make the playoffs. Yeah, I feel like that.
I mean, like I said, it does, but it's just like okay, like me, the Clippers are my team,
Hmm.
and for me, it's like as much as we had to endure all season, not having kept Kawhi or PG all year,
Still
and
play
then
great. Still play pretty good.
play good, it's like man, for we had to play up against, and we lost to New Orleans. I'm like, bruh, they are an exciting team, but I feel like they robbed us of our spot.
Oh man, yo, I was mad. Yo, I wish PG like I wish he could have played. Like I was mad about that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we should have finished Minnesota off, but it's like, man, for him to catch COVID the day of, I'm like, this can't be real. And then he's
Right,
like,
that's crazy.
and
Bro,
we
I
get,
thought it was made up. Like,
Yeah,
how?
no,
on the
it's one of
day
them
of.
things, bro. Like, but my thing is like, it was just we had so much adversity this series, like this season, it just wasn't for us, man. Like next year it'll be different, but we just gotta stay healthy. We can't have no more injuries, man, because next year, like this is supposed to be our year to get there. So said,
But I was kind of okay because, bro, to be honest, if the Clippers made the playoffs, we wasn't beating Phoenix.
Nah, no, no, no.
You
We
told me
we could beat Phoenix.
with Paul George alone.
Yeah, we could have beat them last year.
I felt like that last year they could have been. Yeah,
I mean, last year
'Cause
if we
last
had
year though.
Kawhi, yeah, we have a chance. But with no Kawhi, I don't think we have we have that depth to face them. You know.
look how we lost those first two games, right? The first one was off of the free throws by PG, and the second one was by that tip in. So each game we played against the Suns, and we actually had, if we had won at least that first game, which I thought we could have, I thought we would have the momentum going into the rest of the series. But look at how the series went. We had like little to no rest coming into that series.
No rest.
Phoenix had like damn near a whole week to rest, and we were running on fumes. We have the depth to beat that Suns team. If you look at throughout this entire year, like they didn't blow us out like not one time. As a matter of fact, we beat them by like almost 30 points on our own floor without Kawhi, PG, or Nico Batum. So from top to bottom, we definitely had the better squad. Now, if Kawhi was with us, yeah, we would have beat their ass like 4 to 5, 4 out of 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
But you know, next year, man, like everybody's gonna be, the gang gonna be back, and you know, you just
Yeah.
have to take it from there, man.
Right.
Hey,
Hey, BJ, my fault. Yo. Nah, I didn't get your take. I didn't get your take on like the Matt Barnes. I don't know if you talked about Matt Barnes yet.
I haven't seen that video yet, so
yeah,
I can't talk about that.
yeah. Matt Barnes was saying that he was sticking up for Chris Paul, saying that he's a Hall of Famer, and you know he's a role player. Pat Bevy felt like it's disrespectful. I don't, like I said, I don't I'm not mad with what Matt Barnes said. Like, you know, him and CP3 were teammates, so I mean, I guess it's cool. Um, my whole thing is when Dame stepped in. Like, my thing with Damian Lillard, like, bro, you're not even cool with CP. As a matter of fact, there was a time, I think, I don't know if y'all remember this, when CP3 was on Houston. Um, you know how the game is over, you're supposed to, like, you know, run the clock down. You ain't supposed to shoot the ball. Like, that's just an unwritten rule.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Like,
supposed to dribble the clock out.
dribble the clock out. You know what I'm saying? CP3, petty self, went up for a layup, and the game was over. And then Damian Lillard walked up to him and just like, "Yo, what was that?" And then, you know, CP3 pointed out the clock, saying, I guess he was saying like, y'all ain't playing defense. And then Dame Lillard looked away like he said, "All right," and then he tried to knock the ball out of CP3's hands. Like, you're not even cool with Chris Paul like that. So what makes you want to chime in? I just felt like he wanted to be just, you know, he wanted to be noticed and be relevant. So,
Yeah. After he quit on the Portland season.
man, Dame need to go in and leave Portland, man. I'm like, what are you being loyal for, man? What are you doing? What are you talking about? You want to stay loyal to Portland, man? Like, you not finna win nothing up there.
But bro, you should maybe look at it from his point of view. Maybe he don't care about no championships. He only care about the bag.
Well, he needs to come out. Well, he don't need to say that, but it speaks a lot about him. Like, bro, like you got more than enough money, bro. You just signed a super contract. Like, you go to anywhere else, you can get a big deal. So
I
it's like, go ahead, bro.
I think he do care about winning. I just feel like he just one of them guys that's really loyal. Like he's one of them real ones, bro. He rather like get it on his own, like not like stack the deck or form a like team up with nobody. He'd rather them come to him. You feel me? I don't feel like Dame is about the bag. I feel like he want to win, but like on his terms.
Okay.
But bro, his playing style, there's no way he's gonna win with that. They play no D, bro.
Nah, I get all that, but they created. I think they created cap space, right? They could like I don't know who's gonna be free
Yeah.
agents. Like I know Zach LaVine was a target, but I don't know if that really. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, but my thing is like, if he talking about just not playing with no other stars, or is he like he will play with another star and create a super team? Like, I don't know his loyalty. I don't know what would be unloyal for him just to say I want another superstar. Like, if
Bro, that's what I'm saying. He's playing for the bag because He hasn't played with any All Star, any All NBA teammate, any All Defensive teammate. Like he doesn't have help. So how are you gonna win a championship like that?
Yeah, he need help. Yeah, he
Right,
needs help. He definitely need help.
right.
He wanted Ben Simmons. I remember the time he said he wanted Ben Simmons. Uh,
No
they wanted
comment.
to trade for Ben.
No comment, bro. As a
I,
Philly fan,
I'm
no
just saying what
comment.
they wanted at the time. At the time, I'm just saying what he wanted at the time, bro.
bro, I can't have Ben Simmons, man. Like I don't want him. He ain't gonna play for the Nets. I don't believe. I think he's gonna end up being released.
Man, if I'm Brooklyn, man, listen. Uh, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, man. So let me get y'all take. I think I got Bubba's take. So Tune, what did you think about this morning about the best player in the NBA? Like who would you put in that position right at this point?
Ah, man, best player in the NBA, man. Uh, in the NBA.
Hmm.
I mean, I already like what I think you like I said this before in another stream, but like I think you like misunderstood what I was really trying to say. Like I was saying, like I felt like Tatum was like the best player as of right now. I'm not saying he's the best player in the world. I'm just saying like
In the
Gian,
playoffs.
yeah, like Giannis is out. Like I feel like him and like Luca, like them two for me, like are like the best players as of right now. Like and
Hmm.
if they was to win a chip, I feel like we should have a conversation. Not saying that he would be like automatically like listed as the best player, but like it should be a conversation at least to have.
So
Yeah.
between Luca and Tatum, who do you think is the best? If you were to pick just one person.
Man, Luca really good though, bro. That boy, man. I might offensively, I'm leaning with Luca though, but like if we looking at both sides of the ball, I'm a lean towards Tatum. But Luca is just so he's just so good offensively. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's tough.
I I had made a poll about that too, who I would take, Luka or Tatum. And I actually said I would take Tatum for that simple reason that Tune just said, because the two-way players win. The two-way players who play both sides, who not only put on you offensively, but defensively, they win. And the fact that Luka is a more dominant one-way player and a below average defender, give me Tatum.
But bro,
Um, Go ahead.
Luca's defense got better after game two. You see, Phoenix was not running whoever offense through him anymore.
So you so Bubba, so you would put Luca on a defender like, say, I don't know, Steph Curry the next series.
Man, that's tough.
You
I
would
mean,
put Do you put him, you know how many screens that dude going to go through?
Yeah, he gonna be running.
That man gonna be lost 20 pounds by that season, by the time that series over. I'm
bro, but
not putting
I'm not
him,
saying
yeah.
I'm not saying like Luca got better, but like his defense got decent. You know, they wasn't running any pick and rolls through him anymore after game two.
But would you put Luca on a Steph Curry? Or would you put him on like Draymond Green?
Oh hell no, bro. There's levels to this, bro. No, I'm not putting him on the level of Draymond Green. Draymond's a defensive player of the year.
No, I said, would you put him on Draymond Green, like to hide
Oh,
him?
put him on. Um, bro, nah, because Draymond's gonna be physical with him.
Hold on, Miss Thomas. You saying Luca got better on defense? I need you to jump into the panel, ma'am. I need you to jump in, Mrs. Thomas.
I mean, it got
Uh,
decent, but not very, very. You know,
well, what is that? Well, that's what. Okay, but what does that mean? That's like, you remember I told you, Bubba, like the
bro.
other
At
day.
first,
I said Jokic's defense got better. But what if I'm still somebody that my defense still trash? How much does it say when I say he got better?
bro, at first he was playing no D whatsoever, bro. But it got a little bit better. Like
Okay,
you're not
explain.
you're not targeting him if you want to get a quick bucket, you're not targeting him to go through him to get a bucket he's not very easy to score on that as he was before.
I
He
could have sworn just the first two games of this series, Devin Booker and Chris Paul were searching for him. I could have sworn, and maybe I gotta get another TV
bro,
because I
bro,
could have
that's what I'm
sworn
saying.
that's
I'm
what
saying
happened.
after
Okay,
game 2, they wasn't going through him no more.
but I think, that's a good point. Like I don't know why they stopped, but I think that attribute more to Jason Kidd's strategy to get hit high Luca.
Right.
Because I
Right.
think they purposely would look for ways to get Luca not to be in those matchups.
Right.
So I hear you. It's just I'm like the next series I think is going to look very different. Just by the amount of running that Dallas is going to have to do to keep up with Golden State. Matter of fact, let me get y'all takes on that too. Who do y'all got winning that series?
Bro, you can go ahead.
What's you talking about the Dallas and Warriors?
Yeah. So who you got winning that one too?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a little nervous. After that series I seen, bro, with the Suns, it's tough. Like, is Steve Kerr coming back? He's coming back, right? As
Yeah,
the
Curry be back.
coach.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Listen, I'm gonna stand on what I say. I said that I was gonna have the Celtics and the Warriors, so I got the Warriors in 7 games.
Okay.
Luka is a problem, bro. But I think the Warriors will make it difficult for him. Not saying they're gonna stop him, but I'm saying like they will make it difficult for him. I know they don't have Kawhi on the Warriors, but they I think they'll make it difficult for Luka. I'm gonna go with the experienced Warriors. The championship DNA. I'm gonna go with them, and they have home court. I'm gonna go with the Warriors in 7.
But
Yeah,
okay,
I would
that's a
agree.
good take. What you think? Oh, shout out to my boy Mo. You want to jump in, bro? Hit that link. Talking about the playoffs. Um, he said Luca the best in the playoffs right now, then Jimmy B, then Jason T. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I definitely agree with that. What you got, Bubba?
Yeah, I'm going for the Warriors. I'm gonna say Warriors in 6. But I still believe that Luka's gonna average at least 30 points per game in the series. I mean, even though Golden State have bodies to throw at him, they can throw Draymond. They can give him different looks. They can put Draymond Green on him. They can put Andrew Wiggins on him. They can put Kuminga on him off the bench. And if Gary Payton even plays, what I'm saying, I feel like he would get a little bit. They put him on him a little bit, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I don't think he's coming back. But my fault.
You good, but I don't think it's a great strategy to put Gary Payton on him because Gary Payton's like 6'3", 6'2". Luka's 6'7". Like he'll harass him. Like, bro, you saw what he was doing to Patrick Beverley, saying cussing him out in Slovenian, like he's too fucking small and that shit. I feel like if they put Draymond Green on him, it'll slow him down, and Andrew Wiggins can play off him. That's what I think. But I'll say
Yeah,
Warriors in 6.
yeah. Dubs and 6. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to ask the question yet about Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, but if they get to the finals, I'm going to ask that question on that stream. But
Oh, can I say
uh,
one thing too?
go ahead.
If Tim Hardaway Jr. returns in this series, I feel like it'll go 7 because he can keep up with the shooter, with the 3-point shooter. I mean, not saying that Dallas don't have no 3-point shooters. I mean, they got Reggie Bullock, they got Maxi Kleber who can hit threes, but Tim Hardaway Jr. I feel like is the best 3-point shooter out of all of them. So if they have him, he can compete with them in terms of the 3-pointers. So I would say if he's back, still Warriors in 7.
We got a from Scott Smith. Shout out to Scott. He said, "Yo, God in late, but Tatum edges him by a little because of body of work. He has consistently got out of the first round. Even when Kyrie's, and that's the thing about Tatum. See, Tatum's 23 years old, man. He's been to the conference foul 3 times.
Wait, he's only
Uh,
23?
yeah, Tatum's only 23.
Damn.
So the body of work, like Scott said, is there for Tatum, but he's also very young. And like I said, Tatum could be it, but the problem again with Tatum, he's streaky and he has to learn how to be more consistent. Like, see, with Luca, even when he was getting, beat in the playoffs, like he was always putting up, high production, high numbers.
He was giving us the work, the
He was
business.
giving us fits, man. Like it's hard to deal with that guy. But Tatum, he comes and goes. So you have to. This is his time to like make a mark and be one of those guys that can really make some noise in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Because if Tatum comes in and like punches Miami in the mouth and actually takes over that series, then yeah, I'll give it to him. But he has to come and take it. What up, Mo?
What's going on with y'all, man?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, it's the homie Mo, man. He a former hooper too, man. He,
Salute, salute.
he knows his ball. What's your take, bro?
I mean, we'll take on what? On what particular?
So
Best
what you
player.
I gotta ask him. Yeah, I gotta ask him about Pat Bev and Chris Paul. What did you think of the comments of Pat Bev about Chris Paul? Were they out of line? Were they on point? What did you think about the comments?
I mean, at the end of the day, you got to think about Chris Paul's track record with teammates, especially other point guards, right? Saying with Eric Bledsoe, nobody don't like him, right?
Yeah,
The way he act, maybe the way he act towards them, I'm not sure, right? But they never really have glowing things to say about him,
right,
as far as being scared of him. Look at his track record since Wake Forest, man. The dude is he's not a real winner. He's not a
right.
real winner. What have he ever won? Just think about that. From punching Julius Hyde in the private area to now, what has he really done? He can elevate your ceiling, but can he take you through it? He can never do that. You're not really afraid of him because he doesn't have a left hand like I was trying to explain to you before. Even in his younger days, you make him go left, it's always gonna be tragic. And
Mhm.
he's not a how can I say this? Just think about this. Only one guy that was 6 feet 6'1" and below has taken a team to a championship, and that's Isaiah Thomas.
Right.
Nobody else. I mean, won a championship, I should say.
Yep.
That's only Isaiah Thomas. Is not Allen Iverson. None of those guys, including Chris Paul. Just think about that. He's too small and especially at this stage of his career to do anything but just kind of navigate the ship. But he can't really do anything else besides that.
So what's the difference between IT and Chris Paul?
Killer. He's a killer.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a killer. He's a killer in the clutch moments, right? He's a killer in the clutch moments. Chris Paul had his time when he played against the Pelicans 14-14, cool. Right? But when it's really time to shine, when another guy that's looking you in the eyes that maybe have the same skill or ability as you at your position, he kind of always fold. Just look at that Tony Parker when the Hornets played the Spurs. We can go on and on.
Hmm.
It's always an issue.
But bro, to be
Yeah.
fair, Chris Paul beat Tony Parker and the Spurs one time in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. It was it
He,
2015?
he did. I'm talking about when he played for the Pelicans.
Pelicans.
When
Okay.
they
Okay,
went to
gotcha.
I think when it was the semifinals or the Western Conference Finals. I'm not sure when they had David
Yeah.
West, Tyson
That was the
Chandler.
semifinals. Yeah, they
Right,
they
right,
have
right.
game
He
seven.
had a chance. He had a chance. They took him to game seven. He laid an egg in that game. Go look at the stats, man. I'm a point guard, so when I look at people, and you guys, BJ, I don't think I know everything at all. But when I look at the way people play, and I always told him, Chris Paul always fold. He always fold. I like him, but he folds in the clutch.
Yeah, like for me, it wasn't just game seven. It's just like game three, four, five, six, seven. Like he was bad all five games. I'm like, he's done this shit so many times. It's almost like he just turns into Cliff Paul. Like he turns into that dude on the State Farm commercial. I'm like, he goes into self destruct mode, and it's the weirdest. It's one of the wonders of the world. Like Like you say, he can elevate your team, but he can't take you through the roof.
Right. But it's been the same way since Wake Forest. It's been the same way since Wake Forest. I can't say high school, right? But it's been the same way since Wake Forest. Just look at it. When they made it to the ACC championship and stuff, the things he do doesn't put you in winning positions when it's time to shine.
Yeah,
That's just my take on it.
nah, that's a good take.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Juanetta Thomas. I'm a Clipper fan. Kawhi's my guy. Shout out to Miss Thomas for that. Um, what y'all take on the Suns? What Chris Paul, what Pastor Bev said about the Suns though? Like, were they front runners like Frost the whole time, or they just weren't that team that can compete with teams when they're healthy? Like, how should we look at the Suns going from here on out?
Just let me know the order how we answering because I don't want to overstep or step on anybody's toes.
No, you can go ahead.
Yeah, let him go. You go first, Mo.
All right. They don't have no tough guys. All right. They have a fake out tough guy in James and Jay Crowder. But are you really afraid of him when you need to be in the trenches? You like in the
Nah.
playoffs, you need that guy like PJ Tucker, one of those guys that's gonna set the tone for the game. They don't have a tone setter. They have a bunch of I don't want to colorize things. They have a bunch of light skinned guys that and I'm talking about the light skin, dark skin thing about like light skinned guys being soft or whatever, right? But they have a soft
Hmm.
team as far as physicality. You
Right.
don't see any. You don't see somebody just roughing it up just to get the crowd going to get their team going. You don't see that. So why would you be afraid of a team that's more of a finesse team when it comes down to the playoffs? Because that's like they like a bunch of James Harden. All regular season, you can
Yeah.
win. You can get buckets. You can do your thing, right? But when they're not calling the fouls, when you're not having the game go in your favor, when somebody put an elbow in your chest, who is going to be like, you know what? I'm not letting that happen no more. Not saying hurt somebody, hard foul, right? Or like
Hmm.
somebody diving on the floor for the ball. When do you ever see that for the Suns?
No.
Nah, I
Me
haven't
either.
honestly.
And that goes back, BJ. You could talk, when I talk about the Heat, and I know I'm a Heat stan. I've been a Heat fan for a very long time. They might not be the most talented team, but when it's in the playoffs, do you really want to see them? Because you
No.
know somebody's going to dive at your ankles. You know somebody's going to hit you with that hard box out. You know when they dunk on you, they're going to scream at you and get in your ear. They don't have that for Phoenix, so why would you be afraid of them?
Nah, I honestly think Miami can beat Boston. The
They're
way
going
I
to win the
look at,
ship. They're going to win the ship.
yeah, they got that. I don't know what it is with Jimmy, but he turns into his playoff. He turns up in the playoffs.
I've been
Like
telling
his
you this for
numbers
three
just go up.
years. I've been telling you this for 3 years.
Yeah, he turns up in the playoffs. Like, and he's that guy that he's built. He as the lights get brighter, he gets better.
But that's what the Suns are missing. Someone that's gonna get in your butt, light a fire underneath you, right. Your teammates, all like even get under the opponent's skin. That's what they're missing, man. You do you really want to go to war with the Suns? And that's a question for y'all. You in the trenches, do you want that guy to have your back for the Suns? You have any guy on the
The
Suns
only
you want to have your
person
back?
The only person I would say I would is I think Booker's made. I think Booker's made like that.
He's not like that.
I think
He
he's like
had
that.
2 points. He's not built like that.
He had a bad shooting. I don't think, but he was
Bro, he's
scared
not
though.
built like that.
I don't think he was scared though. He just had a bad shooting night. Like he was aggressive attacking the basket. He just had a bad shooting night.
But offense is always
Bro, you
solved by
giving Booker a
defense.
pass.
Offense is always
Am
solved
I?
by defense. We all hoopers. Your coach said, man, we're going to come back because of our defense, not our offense, correct?
Yeah,
Right? Right?
yeah.
So who on that court does that? Well, who's on that team? Makai Bridges? He's a decent player. He's a really good player, but in the playoffs, do you really want him as your third option?
Nah. Hell no.
So that's what
I
I'm
like
that's
a
what
guy
I'm getting at.
Like a Bradley Bill is my third option.
Huh?
That a Bradley Bill would be my third option.
As a tough guy.
Not a tough guy, just a third option, just somebody to get the job done.
No, I thought Mo was talking about a tough guy.
You need
Like,
somebody that's
Oh, oh,
gonna
oh, he's
set
tough
the
guy, tough guy.
like.
Nah,
You need a tough guy, or you need somebody that's gonna just a tone setter. Anybody that played on a team that was really good, you had a tone setter, and they don't have
don't
that.
have that.
They don't have it. But I'm curious of y'all opinion though.
Go ahead, Tom. Tom. I guess he left. Go ahead, Bubba.
uh, so I mean, just like Mo said, nobody's really scared of the Phoenix Suns because of the tone setter thing he was talking about. Like, who on the Suns do you think is a tone setter? You can't put Jay Crowder in that position. You can't put Mikal Bridges in that. I mean, he's a decent player. He plays defense, but he's not that. He doesn't have that oomph mentality like they have on the Miami Heat. They got tough rough riders, like straight dogs, like people that put their life on the line for the game. Phoenix don't have that. So how can you be scared of a team like that? You can't be scared of a team like that. So I felt like, yeah, they were front running because these role players started talking shit, and they haven't really done anything they haven't really done anything in the NBA to be talking all that junk they was talking, front running all season long, haven't run into a good team, a very good team, very disciplined team, very good execution team that can, give them the business, They finesse their way all through season, getting away playing teams that are injured, So yeah, I would say they was front running.
Oh, and by
Well,
the way, Jason Kidd outcoached Monty Williams
yeah,
by
yeah,
far.
He
he
did.
He
did.
outcoached. He put on a coaching clinic. Like he put on like his Mona Lisa this whole series. Like this is I love Jason Kidd as a coach since he was with the Bucks.
Yeah.
He put on a coaching clinic. He did. You know what he did? He did the same strategy that he tried to employ when Giannis was young.
Mm,
Just go look at the way the Bucks used to play. A bunch of long guys, right?
right.
One guy that was the centerpiece, and you trap and run and jump at everything. He did the same thing to the Suns. Like I don't know if people acting like Jason Kidd was he did something new. This has been his strategy since he was with the Bucks, since he was with the Nets, since he when he went over to the Lakers. It was a little bit of it sprinkled in against the Heat when before Jimmy Butler got hurt and before Bam got hurt. Look at those defensive strategies, man. He's been doing the same thing. He's been
Well,
doing the same thing.
there was a bit. I know you. I don't know if you saw this, but there was a bit where it was like a play, like he was being mic'd up, where he was
I did.
literally yelling out, "Yo,
Right.
step back." You know what I'm saying? Trap. Like he literally sounded like the point. Like he literally sounded like he was a real point guard on the team.
Yes.
Once I
Yes.
saw that, I'm like, yeah, he got him because
But
they didn't have
he
no
did the
nothing to
same thing
count.
with the Bucks. He was
Yeah,
doing the same exact thing when he coached for the Bucks. And people was like,
but
"What? That's strange." He won a bunch of 6'7" guys, 6'5" guys, and with no 3-point shooting, just running and jumping. And he literally did the same thing. Like the Mavericks can't really shoot. You can look
no,
at their percentages. They're a
no,
slashing team.
I mean, they don't got Tim Hardaway Jr., so
Oh,
they. Well, let me ask you this too, Mo. Like the comment that Pat. This was one of the interesting parts too, where he said Pat Bev. He said, Chris Paul, like nobody in the league respects him on defense, and
not anymore,
I,
no.
I feel, yeah, like I felt, I was like, okay, well, you talking about a 9-time All Defensive player, and I don't know if that was more of Pat Bev just saying that because he feels like he's just that guy defensively, like nobody's better than him. So the competitive aspect, or does he really feel like Chris Paul can't guard? Like he literally said, like he can't guard, and I'm like,
Just look at his
damn,
usage rate on defense. Just look at his usage rates on defense. Even when he was with the Hornets, right back in the day, he was more of an off the ball defender. But he was pretty solid on the ball. Now since he's gotten older, he can't jump those passing lanes. He can't move them puppies like he used to, right?
mhm.
And then he's like you playing against somebody that's 6'7", 260. like and putting you in the post, like and doing step back heavies on you, and putting his shoulders on top of your forehead. Like
Yo,
what?
no
That's kind of
chance.
Yeah,
hard to defend.
they
No
were
chance.
scared. They were scared to guard him, man. I could just tell. Look, they were scared to guard Luka that whole night. They didn't want no problems with that
Luca
dude.
unlocked a whole nother. And I was talking to my coworker, at the school or whatever, and we was talking. I was like, I always thought Luca was good, but he has literally turned into a whole different monster. He looked like a slower Giannis from last year. Like, how can you stop that one man? You can't stop that one
You
man.
can't. Yeah.
You can't. He's impossible to guard at this given moment. It's like he like, you know what? Y'all hoopers, you ever played a game? You was ever in a game? You could have had a trash season. You could have been on a 5-game slump. But that one game is like everybody moving slow, but you're moving fast. That's
Right.
how
Mm,
Luca
Right.
look like he's playing. I mean, obviously he already played slow, but he's
Yeah.
still a step ahead of everybody, and it's weird to watch. 'Cause you know when he's about to do the step back pull up with that slow release, but you're afraid to jump on it because you know he's gonna hit you with the crossover. And when he step is weird, man. He's man. Listen,
dangerous, and that's
he's
when you most
dangerous.
scary. It's like when you move. It's not even like you said. I don't even call it slow. I just call it control.
No, he's
Like
slow. There ain't no control.
Like
look,
he's moving at his pace.
yeah, like I'm saying, like that's what I mean. Like he don't have to move fast. Like at the point, the way he's at now, how he thinks the game, like it's like Jokic. You know exactly what he's gonna do, but he's always gonna be playing chess with you. So you like, damn, you got 30 points already in the first half. Like how? Step back, spin move shot, step back, side step shot. Like they didn't want no part. There's only one person in the league that can guard Luca. You already know
Jimmy
who that
B.
is. You
Jimmy
already know
B.
who that is.
Who,
Jimmy
Kawhi?
fucking. I mean Jimmy Butler. I'm not gonna curse. Jimmy Butler.
Oh, that's Kawhi.
Bro, he
Jimmy.
be getting buckets
So
on
you're
Kawhi
trying to
too.
tell you're telling me Jimmy Butler cannot check him? Or Bam?
Who check
Bro,
Luca?
bro, not Bam.
Yes. Yeah, Bam.
Nah, nah, nah.
Okay. We all
Probably
gonna see.
Jimmy. Jimmy
Probably
can,
Jimmy. Yeah.
but not no Bam.
All right,
No, hell
we
no.
gonna see. We gonna see. Because it's gonna be Dallas in the Heat. You
I
gonna
want to
see.
see Draymond guard him. I know he ain't gonna be able to
Draymond gonna
stop him,
get
but I
cooked.
want him. I want to see that matchup.
Draymond gonna have more gray hair after this series.
I bet you Luca's gonna have more. You have to chase step out on them damn screens.
No, they're gonna put
They
him
they
on. They're
gonna
gonna
make
put him.
him
They're gonna put him
run,
on Draymond.
bro. They gonna make Luca run. Like he's gonna have to run in that series.
The,
He ain't gonna be able to play half court
the
offense.
defensive genius that Jason Kidd has proved to be this playoff.
Hmm.
You think he's gonna allow that to happen? He's gonna put probably
I
like Jalen Brunson on Steph.
On Steph.
He's
Yeah.
probably gonna put what's his name Dorian Finney. What's his name?
Yeah.
What's his
Dorian
dad's last name?
Finney-Smith.
He's gonna get on. He might be on
Clay.
no, he's gonna be on Poole. Cause Clay can't move. Clay can't move no more. And he probably gonna put Dinwiddie on Clay.
Who gonna put on
Nah,
Wiggins then?
I forgot about that guy. Him.
maybe
He
he
gonna put
has
himself
Bullock on him.
self check.
Nah, man. And they gonna make that team run. They gonna have to run. Like especially when they go up to the bay. Like they're gonna have to run.
So who? But okay, all right. All that being said, who's gonna stop Luca?
No
You
one.
can't stop them. But I'm saying
What?
you can't. You can
Okay,
make him
what are you gonna
physical.
do to
I will.
impede his progress of giving you
You be
39
physical with
points?
him because the thing I'm gonna say
How
is
can you
what
be physical with somebody that's 6'7", 260 that put pain on you? That literally
you put
looks
a
for
guy like
contact.
Draymond Green, like what he did to Jokic, frustrated him, made him cry to the ref. Because once you get in Luca's head and make him comply ambitious,
Luca
ref,
from the hood, dude. Luca from the real projects, not like
bro,
Americanized projects. He's from a third world
bro, trust
country,
me,
and he's been boo booing on everybody that's been doing that all playoffs, man.
he didn't do that
Like
to us. He
I said,
didn't do that
all
to-
playoffs.
Nah, he
This
did, like
playoffs.
okay, this playoffs, yeah, but
That's what I'm
but
saying.
I'm
I said
saying
he
he,
unlocked. he unlocked. He didn't turn into a Super Saiyan. I ain't watch Dragon Ball Z. Dude turned into a Super Saiyan, man.
But it's only when he's front running. That's what I'm saying. He's a front runner. But when his stuff gets hard, when he's coming from behind, dude, he'll start crying to the ref about fouls and all that stuff. Like, trust me, Luca, you can get in his head. And I'm
True,
telling you,
true, true.
Draymond is that guy to rattle Luca like he did Jokic, who's bigger than him, who's better than him. If he can do that to Jokic, he can do that to Luca.
Oh, Jokic better than
Oh yeah,
Luka? Well, at this
yeah,
moment, at this
yeah,
current moment, at this moment
yeah.
in
At this,
time, like
But bro, I want to
I
say
don't
this
even like
though.
Jokic.
it's
I don't even like.
12-21 in New Orleans right now. At
Yeah,
12-21, you're trying to say Jokic is better than Luka?
yes, because I know what you're gonna say. Because Luca's still playing right now.
That's not what I'm.
But
No. I wasn't about to say that. That's a low hanging fruit.
so you're telling me Luca's a better overall player than Jokic?
At this time, at what's the date? The 17th,
Yeah,
12-22. Yes, Luca is a different breed at this current moment. If you had to reshuffle the deck, so many people are probably put him number one best player in the league at this moment, man. Like at this moment, over Kawhi, yes, over
yeah,
Kawhi
Kawhi. Yeah,
right
he
now,
ain't playing. I can't put
over
Kawhi there.
Paul George,
Yeah, over Paul George. He ain't better than Giannis.
Giannis. What? Nah,
No,
him and
nah,
Giannis
he
are
ain't better
probably
than
neck and
Giannis.
neck.
No, come on, man.
Or
Dude,
but
average.
he'd be better than Jokic. Like that's the
He's
whole
not
point.
better. I think Jokic is better, and I'm not even a Jokic fan like that. But I just think they're pretty much the same. But it's just Jokic is a bigger player.
What's your
They
But
man's name on here?
but
I can't see it.
Luca got more
Who
offensive skill than Jokic.
does
is
he?
it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
bro. Jokic don't
Jokic,
got no step
Jokic.
back.
Wait. You talking about a dude who's the best big passer of all time? That's a skill. You talking about a
Yes.
guy who plays the point guard position at what 7 foot
He plays the point
point
forward
four
position, bro.
A point
He
center.
plays point forward.
points. But that's my he brings the ball up. Like his offensive bag is deeper than Luca. Luca don't got the vision like Jokic got.
You know what?
Don't
I
you say
would
it. Don't
disagree
you
with
say it. No,
you.
don't you no,
I
don't you
would
say it.
disagree with you.
He didn't
What?
even
You saying
Luca.
Luca can't like Luca don't got he can't he don't have
Not
nobody
like
versus Giannis.
Jokic. Not like Jokic. That dude passes. Dude, did you see that pass he did against
If you
us in
want
the
a bucket, who
season?
you want? If you want a bucket, who you want?
Oh, I'm taking Luca. But as
Somebody
far as
to impose his
overall
will.
offensive game,
If you want somebody to impose their will in the game, who you got?
Luca.
Oh,
Luca or Jokic, man. If you talking about scoring the ball,
did
yes,
you not
Luca.
see how terrible Jokic
Luka,
just looked?
bro. I'm telling you, go see what he looks against Golden State. We gonna see
So
how he look.
okay,
And now if
so
he
last question I'm gonna ask you:
go ahead,
Who has the better offensive support in Cavs? If you look at it in the whole totality, don't look at last game. Think about in general, right?
okay.
Who has the better offensive, like who has the better team that fits them as a player? Is it Luka or Jokic?
It's Luca.
I think it's Jokic.
I think it's Jokic, right? So it's
Jokic got
Jokic.
the better team, in my
All right.
opinion.
So okay, Luka just beat the number one seed and beat them silly. So how can't you put Luka number one over
Because
Jokic?
it can easily go south very quick. Because my thing is, I don't
Yeah, it
go
went
by
south
series
already.
by series. Like I don't think he's gonna do what he did against this Golden State team because they're
I
gonna
think
make
he
him
is.
guard.
I think he is. You want to know why? Because I think they're gonna tell him, man, you get yours. Now, then we got to step up, and Brunson gonna have to step up. Tim Hardaway ain't coming back.
Okay.
Tim
All
not
right.
coming back.
Hey, Scott, what's up, man? What's your take?
Man, I'm just listening to it. I gotta disagree with bro, y'all, man. Shoot, Jokic is a better passer than Luka.
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely.
it's like Magic Johnson versus Chris Paul. Like Luka's there when it comes to passing, But Jokic just got that, man. It's just his bag. Like,
Can
and
I interject with
Luka
that? Can I
expected that.
interject with that? Can I interject
Go ahead,
one
go ahead.
time? As far as the passing aspect, Luca can pass, like you said, right? But Luca,
Yeah,
the difference between Luca and Joker, Luca don't want to pass you the ball. He gonna
yeah,
pass
that's
it to
what I'm
you
saying.
when he
He's
choose.
secondary. That's his
Yeah,
secondary.
yeah. I just want to say he's more of a secondary. Chris Paul gonna pass it to you primarily. Luca is more of a secondary passer, and
But
Jokic is more like I'm gonna give it to you. But you
but,
continue. I just wanted to throw that out.
but
No, that's what
I
I'm
want to
saying.
say this though.
Oh, go ahead.
But Luca averaged more assists than Jokic.
Did he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
Did he have like 7 assists? I know Jokic had 7 this year, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Luca got eight
yeah.
point
Are we
seven.
going off
Yeah,
of this year or going off
eight
last
point two
year?
assists, huh?
Okay. I'm still taking or Jokic passing though.
Because it
Yeah.
looked prettier.
I mean, yeah, it looks pretty. Yeah, absolutely.
Better vision.
Yeah, you got
You
better
gotta
I
look
vision.
mean,
at
if you
this.
want to say it, Westbrook was the best passer in the league for 2 years, if you want to really say that about assist numbers, my man.
Yeah, but that's more of an oversaturated stat though.
That was
When you look
stat
at
Yeah,
pad,
it,
I
I know.
think.
I'm being a jerk. I'm being facetious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't
I
mind
did it on
him.
purpose. I
But
was just trying
nah,
to prove a point about the numbers that don't really matter.
I would say Jokic is a tier better than Luca. But
I look
I
at
don't I'm not a big fan of either just because they don't play D. And Luca cried too much for me. He
Yeah, he
cried too
does
much.
cry.
He act like he complained about you give him the call and then he complained about the call before. And on top of that, what he'll do, and I figure Luca out, he's physical with you, but then he flops.
When you're being
What
physical with him.
is that? And that
LeBron,
Luca.
LeBron.
Well, you could say that. That's was he that? What they both do it?
I know. I'm being facetious. Is it true? I'm just throwing those points out there. LeBron do the same thing.
Oh yeah, somebody told me today, and I want to get y'all take before I end the live. We're gonna be back on tomorrow. Somebody told me LeBron has the greatest resume of all time.
Oh,
Do
stop
y'all
it.
agree?
I would think that'd be Bill Russell.
Oh,
I
stop
mean,
it.
wait, what are we talking about when we say resume? That's
Like you
If
said,
you
all
want to say
time.
Resume of all time. So you're talking about a conjecture of championship stats, impact, um, everything in one bowl. LeBron has the greatest resume. Playing style, dominance. If you put everything in a pot, you put him up against anybody, he has the greatest resume. Do y'all agree, or do y'all think it's who do y'all think it is if it's not him? I'm gonna start with Bubba, then we go Mo, then my man. What's your name, man?
Scott.
Nah, he can go first.
Scott.
But he just came in.
You want to go last and get your thoughts together, huh?
I mean, when I look at it, it's that's such a that argument is so weird because like it's so many things that other people beat him in. Like, okay, if we go off championship, you could say MJ, but MJ wouldn't beat him in points because MJ took a break. So it's weird to say. It's like you have to pick certain things. That's why I never really liked them debates about who's the best. So
Mm.
I don't know. But yeah, you can go ahead.
I mean, yeah, like you said, it's weird because if you factor in the championship, LeBron loses that because other champions have more championships in it, but LeBron James got a lot of points because he got longevity stats. So I really, if you're talking about like straight resume thing, LeBron doesn't have the best resume in the NBA history. Like if you talk about right now. Yeah, I'll probably give it to him right now, but all time, nah, I can't give him that. A lot of people have done more than him. Kareem, he got a lot on his resume. Michael Jordan got a lot on his resume. Magic got a lot on his resume. So I can't really put him of all time. Nah, I can't give him that.
I
All
mean,
right.
if we're gonna look at resumes and not winning, right? Not winning as much as the resume might prove, far as championships.
Yeah.
You can say Jerry West, and him are comparable far as the final resumes, right? Not as many wins for Jerry West, but as many finals, close to.
Appearances.
Yeah. I think
Mm-hmm.
he made it 9 straight times, I believe. I'm not. I'm taking it out of the top of my head. I think it was 9 straight times he went.
Yeah,
I don't think LeBron James went. How many times he went straight?
8.
8 times.
Oh, okay. Hmm. But I said, besides that though, I don't think LeBron has the best resume. I think I will put. I wouldn't say. I don't want to put like Bill Russell and Kareem because that's not my era. Um,
Mm.
I don't even want to put MJ because that's so like you know. I say, damn, Shaq. Shaq has a comparable resume for dominance, changing of the game. Um,
Mm.
he had the intentional foul rule just for him. If you look at it, they took the centers out of the game because of his body and how he was so physical. They started just calling offensive fouls. So if you look at it from the Shaq era, they start having more. They go with the more slender guys to make
Mhm.
more stretch fives instead of bulldoze you fives.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I, I think Shaq is
And I think
definitely.
Shaq is more dominant than LeBron as far as a basketball player
Oh,
because you could
Oh,
not
absolutely.
stop
hands
Shaq in
down.
any aspect. You couldn't
It's
stop
not even
Shaq.
debate.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be very honest about this one, and this gonna be my last take.
You better not
And
say nothing
and
about
I
Kawhi.
nah, but did Bubba? I tell him what I said about Kawhi. He can't be the best player because of
Giannis is
one.
better than Kawhi. Keep going though.
Better at what?
Basketball player. Keep
Huh.
going though.
Okay.
He let a team. He led a morbid franchise to a championship. Same as Kawhi, correct?
Yeah, the same year. Didn't Kawhi beat Giannis that year?
No,
I
he
think
beat
he
the
did.
he beat
Yeah, he beat
Yeah,
him.
the
he
he beat
He
the
walked
beat
them
him. That's
down
Sixers.
yeah.
4
He walked
straight.
him down. Yeah, he walked him down.
Hey,
That's
hey,
why.
but
That's why I say Kawhi's better.
And don't
that
forget that's
one
when the
series,
walls were
the guy
created.
that won
That's
the
the that's
MVP
all
in
we that's
double,
all we can go by.
the guy
I
that
think
the first person to have 100 points or
No,
whatever,
200
200
points,
points.
100 rebounds, and 50 assists.
I think
You
Giannis
better
is
than
the
that
best
guy.
player now. I think he's the best player right now
In
for
history,
sure.
who's gonna go back down? Who's gonna go down as the best player? Giannis or Kawhi?
Definitely
Well,
Giannis.
that'll be remain to see.
I
What?
mean,
No
you know, but
remain to see?
statistics
Nah,
are going to
Hell
show that
no.
Giannis
Kawhi's missed a lot of
played.
games, bro.
Yeah,
If no
because
no, I'm saying listen, hold on. This is a chance if Kawhi gets two more championships and the
You
same
think Kawhi
era as
gonna get that
Giannis.
many?
If you talk because he's missed so much, man. Like he left a lot on the table.
Right.
So if he gets two more rings, then we can talk about because I got Kawhi in my top 15
All time.
all
with
time,
the top 10, I got
All
the top
time playoff guys, right? Not regular season.
all time period.
You
All
talking
time
about both,
playoff.
right?
Gotcha.
Kawhi is in my top 15.
How you
Giannis,
gonna put somebody that played only 40% of his career games or something like that?
I'm looking. Well, that's the thing. I'm looking at his whole. Okay, first of all, he got two Finals MVPs, two Defensive Player of the Years, two championships. His skill set, his skill set to me, and this is why I put him over Giannis. He has a better skill set than Giannis.
Yeah, true.
Skills pay the bills, and but I get what y'all saying. Like he's missed a lot of time, so we gotta wait and see. But Giannis,
Mhm.
if he gets at the rate he's going, I would say Giannis could be a top 5 player of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I could
Luca
put that.
next,
Nah,
and
not him.
Jokic. I
I
Nah,
think
think if
all
we
three of
start
those
he,
have a
agreeing on
chance to
that,
be
we
top
can
what?
10
say
players ever.
I mean,
Who?
Luca's on the he's on the rise. You know, he lost 2 straight in the first round. So
No, I think they have the ability for their height and unique skill set, right, to be in
right,
the top 15 of all time. But that's gonna be the next wave of players because here all we like, right? We just like 3-point shooters and dunkers. Out there overseas, they actually care about the. We don't care about basketball no more. Just think about what we watch on YouTube. We don't be like, oh man, that guy could really pass the ball, man. That guy really lock up. We look
right,
at. I'm not saying you guys. I'm just saying in general as a culture, like everything changed. Just like these kids don't know nothing about Black history, right?
right,
Right.
Mm,
Just like we all evolve, and now we just care about the splash players. There is more physical. The lane is smaller. You have to work on you and your individual skill set and your IQ out there. That's why all these players coming from overseas, and you be like, dang. Just think about the past. We have 4 MVPs from overseas. I mean, two
Right.
MVPs from overseas back to back.
Right.
Because we don't care about ball no more. We don't care about that no more. We just care about the buckets. We don't care about the let's have IQ. Let's know how to play the game. We just playing the game without knowing it.
Bro, I got a quick question for you though.
Well,
You think players coming from overseas, you think that's good for the NBA?
all depends how you look at it. I think yes, because if you're looking at it from a marketing standpoint, you're gonna make more money, right? You can
Right,
get on the level of soccer. We're not
right.
talking about NFL. We're talking about more soccer level because of the international star power. But far as these young men that's trying to get to the league, it's gonna be terrifying for them. They're not. They're gonna have to have a third round because it's gonna be so much of the influx of overseas players. That you see that kid that's 6'10", that's 18,
Yeah, I saw
black
that.
kid. They're from I think Australia, wherever. He is nice.
Yeah, he's good.
Nice. Like he's
Right.
like, and he's improving. Just think about our college basketball players, our high school kids that's going to college. They don't know how to play ball. They don't know how to play basketball. I hate college now. I hate college basketball. So yes, I think it's great for the money. I think it's bad far as you getting the opportunity to play in the NBA and actually get a chance to stick.
So don't you think like players from here should then step their game up?
How you gonna think that how are they gonna step their game up when their coach is just thinking about money?
Yeah.
How you gonna step your game up when your coach is and you're playing for a Nike team and Adidas team, right? And you don't have the skill camps anymore. They used to have the skill camps.
Yeah.
Now it's just
Yeah.
you just going out there and play 5-on-5 all day. I remember when I was about 12 and I got invited to the Adidas Top 50 camp with Amon Shumpert, Brooke and Robin Lopez, Eton Moore, all these guys, right? It was skill development. Like you doing going through drills, boom, 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 boom. You don't
Mm,
do that now. Like even when you watch these guys work out, they're going half speed.
right.
They're going
That
half speed.
that's why to me, like the two-way players to me are the ones that I can give the best player. Like as far as the Luca and Jokic, they're good on offense. They skilled offense, but it's the two-way players to me. Like that's why I put Giannis, Kawhi,
Kawhi, yeah.
LeBron at one time. Like those are the two-way players that like get the best player in the world.
Hey B, I gotta ask you something on that point because I've had a conversation with a couple of my friends. So when PG and this was something about when PG was on OKC. So
Mm,
with that two-way conversation, would you have
mm.
said that James Harden, when that started averaging the 30 in the man Mike D'Antoni system, would you have said that PG was better than him when he was in the OKC in his last year? And I say PG is better because of the two-way system. Like
They
it's cool.
see, me and my dog Mo, we talked about this before. I'll let him answer that. Mo, who's better between PG and James Harden?
My God.
Um, you talking about like current CP3 PG?
Well, like the last 3 years.
Ooh,
What you talking
anybody but
about?
I'm
Harden
talking
these
about the
last
whole
few
body of
years.
work
Harden
here.
been playing
I
like
think
booty cheeks.
What you talking about their MVP campaign?
Yeah, he's asking me like the when PG when he got the MVP candidate when James Harden was averaging 30 on Houston.
Hmm.
That was four
Who?
years ago. That was 4 years ago. But James Harden, man, like, yeah, Paul George defense was cool. I think he led the league in steals, right? I think
Right.
that
yeah,
year he
Yeah,
led the league in
full.
steals. I think he was top 10 in 3-point percentage. But he
Right.
also played with Russell Westbrook and Carmelo. I think Harden was averaging 33 with a hurt Chris Paul, with a bunch of guys that just stood at the corner and shot threes. Ah, man, James Harden was special. James Harden was once a special player. I definitely regarded him as one of the best scorers I've ever seen in my life, man. It was special. I
Yeah,
think I think James Harden won that fairly. Because Paul George, how much did he average? 24 that year?
Yeah,
28.
but 28.
He had 20. He
I
had
thought it was
28.
29. Yeah, no, it was 28. Yeah.
It was 28.
Yeah,
But remember, he did get hurt.
Right.
He hurt his shoulder and missed about 20 some games. James Harden
Both
before
shoulders.
yeah,
yeah,
before remember James Harden wasn't missing games. He played 82 games, scoring
yeah,
33. Or maybe he missed sprinkled in a couple games for rest or whatever. You're gonna give it to the guy that was there for his team the whole time, right? So James Harden was a superior player at one point, man.
Well,
He
no,
was
that's why I
superior.
say is a in the whole body of the work with him being the two-way player and James Harden only being the scorer and the facilitator. Is that
Historically, James Harden is gonna be gonna go down as a better player than Paul George.
mm,
think okay, so yeah, that part I think statistically, individually, yes, but I feel like as far as accomplishments,
Who changed the game? Who changed the game?
as far as winning, what do you mean change the game?
Who
Steph
changed the game?
Curry.
James Harden? No, no, no. James Harden or Paul George?
Oh,
Neither,
What? You're crazy. James Harden
ah,
changed the game.
see,
bro.
yeah.
Hold on. So statistically, yes, Harden is gonna be better than Paul George, but as far as career and like winning, you gotta remember what Paul George did when he came in the
Paul
league.
George ain't winning shit neither though.
But he's been okay, but he's also led his team to deeper runs in the playoffs than Harden.
Well, has he?
both
Yes.
got to the Eastern Conference Finals. One got to a Western. It's about the
What
so they
what what did James Harden do?
Wait, James
Was
Harden got to the finals.
no, Kevin Durant got to the finals, followed by
Oh
Russell
my
Westbrook.
God! Now
All
he
Harden
taking
went
you.
for the
Boy,
ride.
you are a
Uh,
Clippers homer.
that's what Harden
I'm a
went for the
Heat
ride.
guy. I'm not even throwing out the Heat. Jesus Christ,
BG, you gotta
man.
be
But
BJ. You gotta be fair, bro.
no,
Be
so
fair,
hard,
dog.
bro. Have y'all seen Harden
Roy
lately,
Hibbert
bro?
took them. Danny
I can't. I
Granger,
can't.
Lance
I can't.
Stevenson,
I'm
George
looking at.
Hill.
I'm looking at how it's gonna end up. I'm saying Harden's gonna end up with a better. I mean, George's gonna end up with a better career than Harden.
Negative.
At the rate Harden's going right now, and he's only 30. What 32?
His
Yep.
career is over.
PG gonna have the better career.
yeah, his
I mean,
longevity is way better.
if PG won the chip, yeah.
Shit, he
So
ain't gotta win that. As the Harden looked
he
like
got
a
to win a
role
ship, but
player.
they're gonna be the same. They're gonna be the
Harden,
same player. They're not winners.
Harden is at this point he's like a role player. That dude is digressed to the point where you can't even recognize who he is.
I mean, he said he was
Dude had
injured.
11 points in the closeout game.
He said he was injured
Paul
throughout the
George
season.
had
So
COVID during the closeout game.
Okay, and it's still better than somebody that stepped out there and scored 11 points and
Bro,
two,
I'm
two
just being a
shots
jerk.
in the second
But
half.
no,
Bro.
no, I got James Harden. I got James Harden over
James
James Harden.
Frauden. I call him Frauden.
Well, whatever you
That
want to call him. I mean, they both
James
ain't win.
Frauden. Paul
They
George.
ain't
I feel
win.
much comfortable with Paul
Dame
George right
Lillard or
now.
PG. PG. Who you got?
Dame Lillard, who?
Or PG. Paul George.
Bro,
Who you got?
PG. What? Bro,
Just
Dame
asking
Lillard,
you a
bro.
question.
Dame Lillard went to one conference finals his whole career.
By itself.
But he ain't, bro.
By itself.
Dame
DJ.
Lillard went to one conference finals his whole career. What is as far
I'm
as
just
looking at the
asking who
accomplishments?
would you take, man? That's all, man. That's all I ask you. I'm not comparing. I mean, I'm not the biggest Dame Lillard fan. I'm just asking the question. How about y'all? Who will have the better career when you look at it? When you look at the whole totality, Paul George or Dame Lillard?
I mean, that's why I was saying that Paul George got to
Neither
win the
one
chip.
are we going off neither wins a ring and just what they have
Or
stats and that.
whatever standards you choose.
I'm gonna say I have to go with PG, man. I hate it because I hated that shot in his face, but if you look at what he did and what Dame has consistently come up short, it's kind of
He
hard to
has
say.
consistently come up short by himself, though.
Last year,
No
Dame
super,
was that guy,
no
but there were
super,
other years
no
where he
superstar by his side. He had, according to BJ, he had a top 10 player next to him.
shit. PG
According to me, what you
on the
saw
Titans,
Kawhi?
he didn't have nobody.
I'm talking
Danny
about
Green
top
was
10
the
player
guy.
of all time.
Are you talking about Kawhi?
Yeah. Paul George had Kawhi, and also he had Russell, and he literally played with, let me see, 3 top 75 players.
True
True,
that.
true.
I'll
Dame
still
Lillard
take
been playing with Nurkic.
PG because again he can play both ways. If
And they
Dame
got
ain't
I
scoring the
mean, Dame,
ball,
Dame play with
Dame ain't
Carmelo too.
if if Dame ain't scoring the ball, he ain't doing nothing else.
That's all they
That's
asked him
facts.
to do.
That's facts.
That's all they asked him to do, though. Like, if they tell you just go get buckets, what else you gonna do?
Also, this shout out to Toon Sports for this comments. Paul George went up against a big three.
Right.
by himself because
To a
Danny
game
Green was
7
gone
too.
at the
And he
time.
was and low key, he was the best player on the court.
Dame Lillard
It
went
wasn't
against a big
LeBron.
three. Dame Lillard went against a big three.
Did he was KD didn't play?
Right. KD didn't play.
And
Okay,
that was his
so that
time.
first of all, that would have been a big four then.
Draymond is not a part of no big
Come on,
three.
bro.
Damn, Draymond is a Hall of Famer.
Dog,
I don't care what you're saying. Draymond is a Hall of Famer.
that's
But bro,
not
he
a
got
big
walked
three.
down.
That
Is
was
he a
his
Hall of Famer?
time.
He got
He's a
That
Hall
swept.
of
was
Famer.
that
Yeah,
was
Dennis
his
Rodman
time.
still considered it. And
Is
that dude
Draymond
still
a
considered that
Hall of
big thing,
Famer?
so I ain't disrespected.
But he wasn't no big three on that Golden State team. He was a splash brother.
Is Chris Bosh a big three guy? If you want to say that, because Chris Bosh at that time was
They
trash.
wait. Didn't they create the super team, the first super team that was with Chris Bosh?
I mean,
Yeah,
in our era, I guess. I mean, but they
yeah.
had
Chris
remember
Bosh,
the Barkley, Scottie Pippen, remember that in
Chris Bosh was
Houston with Olajuwon, like that didn't really work.
Chris Bosh was part of Big Three, and Paul
Okay,
George was the best player on that team on that floor. He was the
lost.
best player.
In the series?
Yeah, he was better than LeBron. In that
By
series,
the way, Dame Lillard gonna be the modern day Derrick Rose, man. Don't want to play with
Ooh,
nobody, ain't gonna win nothing.
ooh, no, come on, man. That's
I'm not talking about getting hurt. I'm not talking about getting hurt. I'm
no.
saying
I get what you
objectively
mean. You
playing with,
mean just not winning
yeah,
anything? I get what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. Because Derrick Rose is by far better than all of them, by far.
yeah, I'll give
And
you
I'm not
that.
being biased because I played against him, but yeah.
Man, I can't even imagine that. Boy, that's oof.
Okay, last question from me. 'Cause I like to do a lot of questions, right? Who do you have? Dame Lillard, Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook. Yeah, that's it. Who would you want on your team?
Can we take out Russell? Because I just feel like it's just unnecessary to have him in that three.
Why would I say he's an MVP?
Yeah, but he's not. When you have Russell, it's more you're not really winning. His stats are good for himself, but it doesn't attribute to win.
I mean, he did go to the finals, something that those two didn't.
Had KD, a great six man to James Harden.
Oh my
Let's
God!
be
Don't
honest.
take away from the guy accomplishment, man.
I
I'm not.
think what he means.
I give him his flowers, but I'm just saying compared to those two, it's not even the same.
I think definitely if you talking like um, healthy, everybody healthy, right? Um, definitely D Rose. That's not even because he impacts winning more than Dame and than Russ.
I got D Rose too, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got D Rose too.
D
and I
Rose
feel like
in
you
his
can
prime
put
or
Russell
Kyrie
on
in his
the
prime?
island and just completely destroy what he brings to the table. Like it's just easy enough to do that. D Rose, you
And
got to
that wasn't even his prime. That's the crazy part. That was like before his prime.
Right.
Hey, bro, I
I
played against Derrick Rose in his prime. I felt like in high school, God, I've been a grown man. Hey, listen, not to even throw out names like that. Playing against him and Eric Gordon on the same team in high school, that was different, man.
Ooh,
Different guy.
now that you brought that up, that actually, I have a question for y'all. When when JJ Redick said earlier today that the Suns should have picked up in the trade deadline Eric Gordon, or who would you get, Eric Gordon or Derrick Rose? Do you think those fits actually work? Because I feel like Derrick Rose would have brought some some extra scoring to that table because the Suns are missing
I
that.
Boo,
would I would take
boo,
Gordon
boo,
I would
only
say Gordon
because
Hayward. I mean,
boo.
because
Eric
Gordon
Gordon.
Tomatoes,
can
boo.
shoot.
Tomatoes. I wouldn't pick up either one. Eric Gordon only likes to play when it's on primetime television. Look at his track record.
Wow.
Well,
But he is
last
acting
night
like
would
a
have been
winning
prime
team he's
time.
playing.
Look
So
at
they
his
give
track
him a
record.
rookie.
I'm just saying. I wouldn't want either one of those guys.
Who would you have taken? Who would you go get?
I don't know, but I wouldn't. Tough. Let me
As
see.
a third option, right?
Bradley Bill, I'm
So
telling y'all, Bradley Bill needs to go to a team where he can be a third option. I think he can help
He's
another.
going to Philly.
That's where he needs to be at.
man, I
Move
can't agree
Harden
with
out the
that.
way. Let Tyrese Maxey be the point guard. I like
Man, I can't agree
Maxey.
with that
Hey,
being a
you know
I
first
like
what?
two
I
Maxey.
don't
guy,
like
man. I can't
Maxie as
agree with
much as
that.
I
most
love
people.
Maxey. I love Maxey.
I don't like him as much as most people.
I love Maxey. Why not?
I mean, he got game.
Yeah, no, he do have game. I'm not. He does have game, but then he
He
get
ain't
a
got
lot.
that
He
heart.
get really out of control. He get.
His
Just think
second
about.
year.
I'm just. Hey man, look. I'm just saying. You want to win now, or you want to win later?
Now,
I think I
You want
think he
somebody that when you need somebody that could play with pace instead of when the time get rough, he try to go 1-on-4.
I want somebody who gonna learn from their mistakes. I think Maxi is he's a harder worker and he's coachable enough to learn. So
I
I
like
think
him on
next
my
year.
team long term, but not if I want to win today. No, trade him and the draft pick. Get Bradley Bill.
Trey
Ooh,
Maxey.
If you want to
No,
win, I'm just
James
saying if you want to
Harden.
win right now. They're
James
not.
Harden.
They're not, bro. Daryl Morey is not going to trade James Harden.
I know
And the
he ain't
gag
going.
is no one's going to trade for him except for the Lakers. Because his contract, he's going to be making what, $46.5 million next year. You can't
So
trade that
who
off his
gonna be
books.
the second option on the team then? Is it gonna be Harden or Bill?
Bill,
And is Harden
James
gonna be
Harden
okay
want
with
to be
that?
the third option. I don't think people been realizing this. Like James Harden don't want to be the man no more. He's tired. Like he don't want to be the man no more. And he pretty much said it. He was like, in his press conference about the Kyrie thing and Kevin Durant getting hurt, he wasn't happy no more. He was cool being the third option, the facilitator. That's what he wants to be. Just watch how he plays. He literally goes out and be like, you know what? I'm gonna just try to get like 20 assists this game. I don't really care.
Yeah, with your 8 turnovers and your 20 missed shots and all that pouting and not getting up and down the floor. Like I just was so disappointed in James
I
Harden in
was.
that thing, man. Like that should be an
Yeah,
investigation. That performance.
the
I know he
effort
wasn't
was the
point
effort
shaving. He don't
wasn't
need the
there.
money.
Well, yeah, I don't think he was point shit. I just think literally like the Miami just put the defense on him. Like he couldn't get nowhere. And Jimmy Butler, I knew he's gonna eat like sit on his left hand and like he couldn't go nowhere. James Harden's crossover used to be so lightning quick. That is so slow now. Like it's sad, man. It's sad. He said, "Would y'all like to see Bradley Beal in Philly or Miami?" I want Bill to go to Philly, and I want Donovan Mitchell to go to Miami.
Ooh, but
I
who
want
you gonna
Mitchell to go
take
to
from
Miami.
Miami?
you want Mitchell to
Who
go?
you gonna take
Ooh,
out of
that is
Miami?
Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson.
Why would you trade Tyler Hero, bro?
If I can
If
get
you was
Donovan
Miami.
Mitchell, that's an easy move. That's easy.
If
well, you got to
if you
think
was
they also got
Miami,
Oladipo to give up too.
you're not gonna trade down. You're not gonna trade him.
I'm just going by like what I think. I want Donovan Mitchell on Miami, man.
Trade Victor Oladipo and
Yeah, that's what
Duncan
I'm saying. You
Robinson.
could do a sign
Yeah,
and trade because he's a free agent after this year.
right.
I mean,
So
when
I
the Heat
think
won
in
the
New York,
championship
that's just
this
me
year,
personally.
who cares?
Yeah, that's the thing. You're gonna see what happens in the playoffs.
Minnesota
But
What's up with
surprise.
Boston? Is like what would you change on Boston's team? 'Cause I don't. I like their. I don't really like their team. I know
they
they're
don't have
winning
enough.
and all.
They don't have enough outside shooting.
Mm.
Trade Marcus Smart.
Yeah, I think they need a real point guard, like a facilitator.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's kind of hard when you got Tatum and Brown. Like they got scores, but they ain't got shooters. You know what I mean? And I think Miami's gonna have their number because they're the same team, but it's just Miami can shoot that three ball. So,
Nah, Boston's a better 3-point shooter than Miami. Miami struggled in Philly from the 3-point line.
well, if you look at their roster, look at the 3-point shooters Miami got. And look what Boston got.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Miami got Gabe Vincent. They got Tyler Hero. They got PJ Tucker. They got
Do
you
you
know
throw PJ Tucker in as a 3-point shooter?
as a corner shooter, he can
As
shoot
a
the
corner
corner
shooter,
three.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's
He
all
got
you
the
need.
one.
Like, and look at Boston, like Grant Williams. I mean, come on, man.
He
Who
shoots
they?
42% from the 3-point line. I don't care what you talking about. He shoots 42% from the
How many
3-point
shots?
line, my guy.
How many shots?
I'm saying for the season, 42%. It don't matter. He shot 18 yesterday, 2 days ago, and he shot 40%.
Are
Yeah,
you
that's
trusting that for the rest of the series against Miami?
Brother, he's a career 40% true
yeah. I don't
shooter.
think. I don't think. I
No,
don't think Miami's gonna give him that open looks
hell
after what
no,
he
they ain't
did.
gonna give him that open look. They
They
ain't
ain't gonna
gonna
give
have
He
nobody
this.
did.
no open looks.
He is not gonna be shooting that against Miami, man. They not.
Hey, bro. The reason why Boston is gonna lose is because Jason Tatum is in love with taking hard shots, and they're gonna force him to take all the hard shots he wants.
People keep putting him in the same light as Kobe. I don't see
Oh
Kobe in
no,
this game, bro. He don't remind me of Kobe at all.
nothing. His
Bro,
game too stiff. It's
nobody's
not
like Kobe,
poetry.
bro.
Nobody, not even Jordan, is like Kobe.
Nobody like Bean, bro.
I mean, me coming from the St. Louis guy, I think it's more he's going to keep shooting thing. I think that's what people see because that's what everybody
Oh,
here
okay.
says. It's like that's what we see it from.
So
Like
you're a St. Louis guy, right?
yeah, yeah. So
Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum.
Well, that was my
man, I
question.
was just arguing with my friends with this. I gotta say Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
Even
that's
though
tough though.
Bradley Beal has been in here longer and he has a technically he's a better scorer, it's Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
Went further, has done more in his shorter career than Bradley Beal has.
right.
John
Bill
Wall.
Bradley Beal hasn't been to Eastern Conference Finals yet. Jason Tatum been to 3 already.
Hold
Exactly.
on. I got one for you. Darius Miles or Larry Hughes?
Larry Hughes.
With St. Louis, what you think?
I'm say Larry Hughes.
All right. Okay. I'll take
Larry
Larry
Hughes.
Hughes.
Like, do you know who Larry Hughes is, BJ? I know you're a young guy. Do you know who Larry Hughes was?
Oh yeah, Larry Hughes was a stud, man.
Like
He's
with the
good.
Wizards? Do you not
Yeah.
remember who that guy was? Like Darius Miles
Yeah.
was a beast in high school. But come on, in the league, he was a underachiever. I won't say bust because I don't want Kawhi Leonard. I mean, Kwame Brown to come beat me up. But he
Yeah,
was
I
an
was about to say
underachiever.
that, bro.
Is somebody
Underachiever. You
putting
don't make a lot. I mean, you can't be an underachiever when you make more than 80 million or 20 million or even a million. You're not necessarily an underachiever, but as far as your talent that he had, I mean,
Yeah, he was in the
he
league
don't even
for a
claim
couple
St.
years
Louis.
though.
He claims Chicago.
Yeah, I think he's from East St. Louis.
He claims Chicago. I just want to talk that to the St. Louis guy,
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
he
to
from
upset him a little bit,
somebody
just to
put
Hey,
upset him.
I
y'all,
think
now that y'all said that, I just thought about something. This may be just a hot take. I feel like because the Cavs won't really need Colin Sexton no more, and y'all was talking about Celtics need a point guard, I feel like you do a trade with Colin Sexton and Marcus Smart. That's just me. That's just me. He a dog on defense, and
No, he's
he
not a
at least
dog on
can shoot.
defense.
He's
But
better.
Sexton
You
not a
lose,
facilitator though.
Yeah, he's gonna be. They're gonna treat him like Kyrie Irving. They're gonna get him out the club.
but
yeah.
he can score. I feel like with Marcus Smart, you do get that defense, but they're going to need somebody that can teach. And Colin Sexton is fast; he can get to that point, and he's young. Just my opinion, though.
How
No,
about
that's not
Kobe
a
White?
bad.
I prefer Kobe White over Colin Sexton.
That's what I'm afraid of. Kobe White, I feel like can he do that with his own team? Because I mean, he got a spot taken, and he should have. because he had the chance to beat Chris Dunn to take for that starting point guard position. Chris Dunn didn't do anything, and he literally had a whole chance to do it. Still didn't do nothing.
I mean, Kobe White, I think he got put in a terrible position for remember at first his rookie year, at one point he was averaging 30. I think for
Remember?
like 20 games, 25 games, he was averaging about not 30, but maybe like 26, something like that. Right, his rookie year.
And
He
Chris
kind
Dunn
of
got
had the
injured because he had a
Brandon. He
knee.
probably had like he had like the Brandon Jennings effect. He was balling, but then when they started to build and bring people, he kind of got lost in the shuffle. And the only reason why I pick him over Colin Sexton is because of that ACL injury.
Yeah. They got a lot of point guards on Cleveland. Oh yeah, Will, your man's got into some stuff. Your man's got into some stuff this early this week
Who?
for the point guard for the Cavs. You know who? Your guy. Who's your favorite point guard of all time?
All right, right. Look, we're not talking about that. That's only rumors. That's rumors. We don't
Nah,
know.
you know
We,
that he
we,
would do something like that though. That ain't no rumor, man.
I
That
don't know
sounds
that
just
because you
like
act
him.
like that. You act like that's my partner or something. I don't hang out with him.
You like him? That's
He's
your
not from New Orleans. If he was from New
point guard.
Orleans and that happened, if he was from New Orleans and that happened, I'd be like, yeah, he probably did it.
Well, ain't that your favorite point guard of all time?
Second favorite, yes.
Who your first?
Jason Kidd, man, you know that.
Oh, okay, I was just asking. I was messing
And
with
then
you.
Rondo.
Yeah.
Hey man, look, I know they don't know me, so I'm gonna just tell y'all the reason why those are my favorite. I don't think they're the best. That's how I model my game. After y'all, I know y'all obviously never seen me play, and I haven't seen y'all play. But those are my favorite players, point guards to watch because I can see they brain moving while they're playing to see everybody that's gonna be on the court.
So defense and officiating.
I mean, I get buckets too. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But
I heard earlier. I'm
but
about to say, well, you ain't that big of a Chris Paul fan, then.
no. I'm not that big of a Chris Paul fan. I think he's soft. Let me
Ooh,
hit people in the
sound like you
nuts.
like defense. Since you like Jason Kidd, you gotta like defense.
Huh?
Well, I'm like, you like Jason Kidd. I'm like, you gotta like defense and officiate and being in the school. So I'm like, you don't like Chris Paul? But
Jason Kidd is a better defender. He's a better on ball defender than Chris Paul.
I don't think he likes the decision making of Chris Paul either. I
I
think
don't like it in the clutch time.
yeah.
Like, okay, when you come, okay, I watch Chris Paul, right? He started off from the left side. It's doing the clutch moments, right? Is everybody has the standard play. You have a guy on in the left corner. You have two guys on the right wing. You go to your strong hand, right? When he come off that screen, he probes the ball so much that later in his career, right? He probes the ball so much that he forget the screener is open, right?
Yeah.
And then he holds it so much that when it's time to look to the opposite side to the guy that came up to the wing, he's covered, and the guy that on screen, now he's covered. Now he's on an island at that elbow. You ever notice when he be at the elbow, he be holding the ball, trying to find something, then he give it off to Booker or whoever else is on his right hand side.
Yeah.
He does that
Mikal.
so much. Just watch it. You go back and watch the film. He does that so much. He probes the ball.
yeah, and that's why a lot of
He's been
people
doing
stop
it for
doing
a
drop
very
coverage
long
on him
time.
because like he does it so much that you literally if you just pick him up, you stop his whole play.
But if you ever watch Jason Kidd, he come off right. He hit you with that shoulder to the right, like that back shoulder to the right with the ball in his right hand, and he'll penetrate that lane. You know he's not going to shoot the jumper because Jason Kidd is a 3-point shooter. He's going to the goal, laying up on you. Or in his younger days, he'll dunk on you. But he won't probe as much, right? But
He'll
he'll trick the
attack.
defense to make it
He'll attack.
uncomfortable. Now he has three options open. He has the wraparound pass to the center. He has the guy on the far left wing, and he has the guy in the corner on the right side.
Yeah,
Chris
I
Paul
think
doesn't do that he doesn't do that a lot.
Yeah,
that's just the standard of how I played coming off pick and rolls and stuff like that. And Jason Kidd, watching him play off the pick and roll, that always showed me how to be a point guard.
yeah, definitely. This DeAndre Ayton, I think he's going to leave them because they don't feature him in offense. You know what's crazy? I said this in my live earlier.
Right.
My coach was telling me like because he coached DeAndre back in high school. Um, he said this been in the works since last year. Like DeAndre's gonna be end up leaving. He gonna end up be leave the Suns for sure.
Isn't this his last year? Because he's a restricted. He's an unrestricted free agent. I think after this
Yeah,
year.
he gone, man. He finna leave because they ain't give him the super max. And then like I saw him and Monty Williams got into it on the sideline. So yeah, he gone, man.
Well, I thought he
He's
wanted
not
the
gonna be
max.
gone because they can match their act. They can match. He can't go anywhere unless they say no, we don't want it.
Dog, well, if some that's what I'm saying. If they do a sign and trade and somebody else give him a bigger deal, he already wants to leave. He already wants to
I'll
be
trade
out of
Chris
there.
Paul.
Huh?
I'll trade Chris Paul.
Ooh,
Whoa.
this man really don't like it.
No. I don't have a dislike for him. I just don't like him as much as others.
I feel like he
I would.
doesn't need to be in as much as he is. Like it's more on Monty Williams how much of his friendship. His minutes should be cut and you should use them as spurts. Like he
I like
shouldn't.
that. I like that idea. I
Yeah, he
like him
shouldn't be
coming
out there
off a
all the
bench role,
time.
like a bench role.
Yeah, or like give him like kind of like how the Lakers did Russ. He can start, but cut his minutes down. And it should have been. I know this is gonna be trash to say. You should have had more Cameron Payne or Devin Booker running the
Oh,
point. It
Cameron
would have made.
Payne is awful.
But it helps because Cameron Payne isn't as bad on defense as Chris Paul. You could at least have a quicker guy. Chris Paul was stuck in the mud for most of them plays.
The Phoenix Suns
Yeah,
should draft
I
a
got a
point
question though.
guard or a center or either one or a power forward, right? Because they front court is lacking something. I know JaVale McGee played decent this year. They need more than skinny bodies. They need a physical person, and that when they sub out DeAndre Jordan or when they not DeAndre Jordan, Deontay Ayton, or when they sub out JaVale McGee, have somebody a big guy, and they need a point guard that doesn't have that nasty ass shot. I'm sorry, I cursed on YouTube. That has
No,
that
I say
nasty shot.
Jerry Grant. Just gonna say.
I'll take him. I'll take him. But you still have a bunch of skinny dudes on that team. They're a bunch of skinny guys. They do yoga all day or Pilates. They don't have a physical body. Just think about this. They're all lean.
Yeah, Mikal
It
Bridges so
goes.
skinny.
That goes back to being afraid of them.
And
Like
and Jay
you
Crowder
don't look
isn't
at it
that
and be like, oh
defensive guy
yeah, I
anymore.
got that. Yeah, I can't body him. You be like, oh yeah, I could put him in the post.
Yeah,
I
Luka
could put that guy in the
Doncic
post.
posted up DeAndre Ayton. Once I saw that, I was done. They did
He
that.
did that on purpose.
He did it on purpose.
He
Yeah,
did that on. He literally targeted him. He like, yeah.
yeah.
People be saying like, yeah, they want you, but I'm that guy.
Well, and that's my question. If you can't keep Aiden or if they won't give him the Supermax, who do you get for him then? That's actually worth to build around. Because I feel like they should go small. The center ball, if you're gonna do that, go smaller, but have versatility. With it. So
Right,
I'm like, who do they
right.
trade for?
If you go
Uh,
small, you should definitely be versatile.
Yeah, who are
I
you gonna
think.
trade for?
I mean, I mean, honestly though, if you look from top to bottom, like they have a full team. Like they got shooters, they got length, they got athleticism, they got the point guard, they got Book, they got all the pieces. The only thing like they don't have the toughness. Like they don't have that guy that imposes fear like that tough guy. That's the only thing they missing. They got everything else.
They definitely got them fast.
They need like a Vanatulis, the center for the Pelicans. Listen, speaking of the Pelicans, I'm from the city. I've never been a Pelicans fan, or Hornets fan for that matter.
Mm,
The
Wow.
Pelicans has the ability to be a top 3 team next year.
I agree
That's
with
a
that.
giant.
Yeah.
That's
They
a
have
giant.
everything that you
If Zion,
want.
I don't know bullshit. Yeah.
I agree with
No,
that.
Zion ready to go. Well, I mean, he's ready to play. I don't know if his height is in shape level, but he actually is motivated from the things that I hear from people that like from the ball boys that I know that played that work for the team. He's ready to go.
Man, I hope so. 'Cause y'all,
He's ready to go. Like he's ready to go. And if you have him with this team, it's gonna be scary for a lot of people. If Brandon Ingram is playing like how he's been playing, oh man, it's gonna be very scary. It's gonna be very scary for the West.
Yeah, with CJ
Well,
McCollum too.
that's your coach, Coach Willie Green. I think that's who.
Hey, man, I rock with
He's
that guy. Cool.
yeah. I think he's the glue. He's kind of like what Jason Kidd is to Dallas, like the coach, the players coach. I like Willie Green a lot.
I wish my coaches cried when we lost shit in college. My coach is just like, oh man, we get them next time.
Yeah, that's man. But hey, been two
Hey,
hours and 30.
BJ, before you leave,
It's good.
stop saying next year for the Clippers. You've been saying next year for like the last 5 years, bro. It's not a next year. Y'all not gonna have a
Wait.
Bro, this is the last next year.
Well, hold on. Before asshole. First off, we've been hurt.
You cursed on
So,
YouTube, bro. You gonna mess up your
I'll edit that out.
monetization.
I'll edit that out. We've been hurt. Let me ask you a question. And a yes or no, simply do. Kawhi Leonard don't get hurt last year in the playoffs. What happens?
That's not a yes or no question. You want a response.
Right. Do they win the championship?
No.
They
Who's
get to the
beating them?
finals.
Who's beating them?
No.
Don't say
Giannis literally averaged
no.
49 points.
Nah. Against who? Well, the Suns, right? Against DeAndre Ayton.
You don't
Who
think
would have
he
won?
would
So let me ask you
dominate
this question
Kawhi?
again. If the Clippers are full strength last year, or they win the championship?
No.
I say yeah. I mean,
How could you say no when
You
the
from LA
same
too? Are
dude
you
beat
from
them?
LA?
Hold on. How could you say no when the same dude beat them like 3 years ago?
four straight.
If Kawhi and Giannis face each other, Kawhi is the better player.
Giannis turned into another human being. It's like somebody put another body inside of him. Like, did you not notice what Giannis was on a different. That's why I'm saying Luka has a chance to actually win because he's on another stratosphere right now. But Jimmy is too. So what I'm saying is Kawhi was playing okay. He was playing good.
Whoa, wait.
Whoa,
When?
bro, come on, bro.
No, he was
Whoa,
playing. No,
whoa,
he was playing good. He was
whoa.
playing. He was
He
playing
was
really
14 for
good.
17 to drop.
He
Bro,
was
he was the
playing
best player
really
in the
He was the
good.
best
playoffs.
player, right? Before he got hurt, he was the best player in the playoffs.
I'm comparing Giannis in the finals to anything Kawhi did that playoff. Giannis was on a different tier at that time. I know it was just against Phoenix or whatever, but the way he
He was
was
getting
playing
guarded by
was
DeAndre
rare.
Ayton. That was like the worst person to
Bro,
guard.
the 19 playoffs with Kawhi is one of the best playoff runs of all time. That
Yeah,
19 year,
What?
no doubt.
So
that was one of the best.
better than what Giannis just did?
Yeah, it's up
Yeah,
there.
it was.
Whoa, really?
You
The
beat a
dude
Philadelphia.
scored 52 points in a closeout
Okay,
game
but we
and
talking about
lost.
moments,
Bro, he beat Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, and Ben Simmons.
and then beats Giannis the next round, walks him down four
I'm
straight
saying
games.
final run for final run. You're saying Kawhi, not run, but finals.
Wait, you talking about just the finals or the whole
Just the
playoffs?
Yeah, we
finals,
got
just the finals. Who was like Giannis said, you know what?
well,
I'm upset with happened to me the year before. I'm gonna kill everybody, and that's literally what he did.
what about the playoff run? Because it's a whole totality.
Right.
The playoff run. I mean, the Bucks dominated their playoff run as well, though.
But
But they went against injuries though. And
Oh my God!
we beat
You're a former Hooper, right?
Kawhi.
You're a former
he
Hooper.
played healthy players into the finals.
Exactly.
I got a question. Oh, you're a Hooper, right?
No. I love
Hooper,
watching
right?
basketball though. I'm a boxer, man. But I love watching basketball.
Okay. So I can relate to boxing, right? You go
Mm-hmm.
into a boxing, you've been training hard. You balloon, right? But
Right.
then you have to cut weight. Right? You could be like Errol Spence. let's say Errol Spence. You know how he's naturally the bigger fighter, right? He ballooned, but now he has to cut weight, and no matter how good he is, that cut weight probably was fatigue. Are you gonna be like, oh man, Errol Spence sucks because he lost a fight because he had to cut weight? Or are you gonna be like, oh man, he went hard.
I mean, for that situation, boxing, man, if you choose to get in the ring, it's your choice. Like, there's no excuses. It's just straight up.
But you have to cut weight if you want to keep your belt, correct? You have to continue to go regardless of the situation that you might have put yourself in, or your body is naturally gaining weight, correct?
No, I agree. Yeah, it's correct.
Same with basketball. When you play, you know the risk. This person might not come back to base with us today. You know what I'm saying? He might, he might get hurt. But I gotta put forth what I have in front of me. No matter how tired I am, no matter how hurt I am, my team is, you gotta go out there. And that's Giannis seen what they had, and he tore their ass up. He averaged 40 something a game, BJ.
I said
What, bro?
Giannis is the best player in the NBA. I'm just saying
No, no,
Kawhi.
no. But you say Kawhi and him. Come on, man. That
What do you mean? What do you mean? Come on, what?
Look, I think BJ was comparing, like, you're comparing Giannis finals, just the final series.
Yeah, I'm saying the finals.
But BJ was comparing the whole playoff run.
Yeah, you gotta compare the whole thing. You can't just say the finals.
The East was weaker, but yeah, you're right.
Whoa.
Bro,
The
Giannis
East
playing
was
the same
weaker.
East. What you talking about?
You talking? I'm talking about when Giannis won the championship. That East was weaker. That's what I'm
What?
saying. That East was weaker
So wouldn't
because they
that?
didn't have the star power on that side. Just think about it. They didn't have as much star power on the East. When Kawhi left, everybody went west. Correct?
I
Everybody
mean, but
went
you
west.
still had James Harden with the Nets. You still had the Nets stuff. They just wasn't healthy.
James Harden, he was playing on one leg. He was playing on his pinky.
Hey, you can use hoop. Hey, what? You put them shoes on. You gotta play. Now he shouldn't
Okay,
have
well,
touched
star
that many
power. Okay,
shots.
so I mean, I have no problem with your argument because I'm a no excuse guy, so I get it.
And, bro,
I get
not
it.
to cut you off, Giannis walked your team down, though,
Who?
in the first round. You a Miami Heat fan, right?
I love the Heat.
Right, he walked them down with Jimmy Butler, Bam, and all those guys.
And that is a
Yeah, he
strong
did.
point. You could say
He did.
that
Listen,
they went
I
to the
have no
finals.
problem with what you're saying. Hey man, the Heat didn't show Heat culture. By the way, I'm not a Heat fan when LeBron played for him. FYI,
Got you.
I'm not a LeBron fan. You
Yeah.
think I don't like Chris Paul? I like Chris Paul. I don't like LeBron at all. None of his game I like at none of it. None of it.
Well,
I
I,
don't
I
like it.
mean, I can honestly say this. Like for me, like a Boogie, because I like Rondo too, because my dad is Celtics fan. Uh, Chris Paul a dirty player. Let's be 100 with you. Most of the people that are genuinely cool as hell, they agree that he a dirty player. From his
I've been
antics,
saying that.
I
He
told.
doesn't lose
That's
any
why I
reps.
told him I don't like Chris Paul, man, and I understood why Pat Bev pushed him. I don't like Chris Paul. He a classless dude.
I wouldn't say he's classless, but he will go to any extent to win.
which is funny because he don't be winning. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. With the Clippers days, not to go back to these big ass Clippers, but it
Oh
wasn't his
my
fault.
gosh.
The Mr. Blake Griffin was hurt.
Yeah,
They had
sometimes he was
You
getting
can
hurt
put
too.
Doc in there too. You can put Doc in there too. He was.
That's Doc Rivers. That was his fault. Everything is Doc Rivers' fault. I
no,
don't even
no,
call him
no!
Doc.
Don't you
Glenn
disrespect
Rivers.
Mr.
Glenn Rivers. I
Legend.
don't call him Doc. I call him Glenn. Yeah, doctor knows what
Wow.
to
I
do.
don't like his son. I don't like. I don't like his
And
son. But his
thank
son's
you. That's
trash.
the same
I
thing.
remember I
He
was
put
at.
his son over his team. His son should have never been on that team.
Listen, I remember when I was at UCF. He came and hooped because he stayed in Winter Park. We was busting his ass. Him and his brother that went to Indiana, busting his ass, and he walked out the gym. I was like, oh, he's soft. He's soft, and he's been soft his whole career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, y'all, you know what? I enjoy conversating with y'all, man. Y'all cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't never
Yeah.
did this before, but this is different. I'll be meaning to talk basketball with people. And y'all cool. Your podcast cool, BJ.
Oh, you already know, bro. It's all love. Y'all welcome anytime.
Who's your
Yeah.
favorite boxer? Since you're a boxer guy.
Oh man, I'm a Canelo man. I know he
Oh,
just lost. I know he just lost, but
I'm not. I
but you
ain't
don't go
trying
to
to be.
like heavyweight and think you finna just
Huh?
run it.
You said what about Canelo?
No, I said I'm a Canelo guy, but since he just lost,
I'm an
I'm
Earl
cool
Spence
with.
guy. I'm an Earl Spence guy.
Oh
That's
man,
my
he got
guy.
called
I've
out.
been I've been rocking with him for about 10 years. No,
All
like
right,
7 years. Yeah.
yeah, he a cool, chill dude. I seen him. He came to my gym one day. I was like, "Oh, he cool as hell. He to himself. He don't really be out like that. So he real cool dude."
All right.
Yeah.
Before we get off, BJ, you gotta ask everybody final prediction.
All right. About what?
The finals prediction. Who's gonna make it to the finals?
All right. So I asked the panel too. Who coming out the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference? I'll start with Bubba, then Mo, then my man from St. Louis. Yeah, I'll call him St. Louis, my man, St. Louis guy.
It's cool.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Bubba.
I mean, I got Celtics and the Warriors in the finals.
That's a good one.
I got Warriors Heat. Heat win it in 7.
Hmm.
Man, I got Heat and Warriors too, man.
How about
What you
you,
I
got,
BJ?
BJ?
What you got? What you got, big homie?
don't care about none of these teams, man. I
Oh my
want
God,
my
you such a
Clippers. I just
Clipper.
want to
You
wait
such
for
a
my Clippers
Clipper
to come
dude.
back. We gonna run through the West next. We run through the whole league. Clip ganger don't bang.
What?
Y'all jump on the wagon
Bruh.
next year, bro.
I'm
When
not
we,
jumping on
we
the
go to the
wagon.
whole
I'm gonna just give me
league.
some hot water. All
Man,
I'm
I'm,
gonna do is
I'm a
give me some
Kawhi
hot
fan,
Our
water
man.
bet, our
with
bet's
lemon,
still on
with
next year
lime
too.
juice. Look, I'm
Our
gonna get
bet's
hot
on.
water. I'm gonna get
More,
hot water with lime juice and be like Kawhi. Set my
more get. We
ACL,
got our
go to
bet
the
next
championship.
year. I ain't forget, nigga. We got our bet next year.
Me?
We win. Yeah, you. We winning the
The
whole
Clippers
thing,
are
bro.
not making the finals next
We
year, my
making the
man.
finals. Our bet's on. We making the finals.
I will bet. Listen. I will bet my whole month of my teacher check that they're not making the finals next year. I
All
I mean,
bet
right,
but
you
you
that.
don't think that's a strong team with Rob Cole in addition to Norman Powell, though? That's a
bro. We
that's
going
a,
That's what I'm saying, man. They
that's a
don't
I
know.
strong
will
People
team.
bet.
don't
Listen,
know. People don't know what's going on with this team, man. They finna run through the West next year, man.
my dude. Do you want me to put You want me to put a amount on? I'll put $3,000 that the Clippers don't make it to the finals next year.
Okay,
What you trying to do? What you trying to do?
3,000, 3K. Might have to do more than that.
Yeah, make
Let's
it
do,
5.
Now,
yeah,
now he want to do more big money, BJ. All right, we'll do it.
5K.
You talking about something? Norman Powell still got to sign back.
Bro,
He gonna
Norman's
be here.
coming back, man. I seen Norman a few months ago. He coming.
Yeah,
He staying with
you
the
see the
team,
nigga. You think he gonna tell you his hand? You're a
bro.
blog. You're
He
you're
ain't
you're a
going nowhere,
reporter at
man.
this point.
He
You're
ain't
a
going
reporter at
nowhere,
this
bro.
point,
Norm ain't
my
going
nigga.
nowhere, bro.
Norman could make like a lot of money.
Bro,
The
he ain't
Clippers
going
don't got the
nowhere.
money to give to him
He
unless
going
y'all sign away trade away Luke sad ass Kennard.
Bro, Luke is the best shooter in the league, man.
Come on, man. This nigga's
Cool hand, Luke. Man, that's why I'm all right. We got to continue this
Joe Harris is a
conversation.
better shooter than Luke Kennard.
No, he's
Stop
not.
it. What?
Did you not see last time he was on the court what he
Joe
did?
Harris haven't played played the whole season. Like
What he
like
did in the conference semifinals. He missed like how many
man, you
threes?
gotta stay off that vodka, man. That
I
is bad for
mean,
your brain, brother.
Joe Harris. I don't
Luke
nah.
Kennard is the best shooter in the league. Are you talking about
Go look at the
percentages? Or are you talking about
dog
odds?
by cause he just was in a 3-point shootout. Was it?
And lost.
Yeah, I was going to say I
He
was
went.
mad he lost the
Man,
He
he
contract.
didn't lose.
lost to
Leave
Hey,
it.
fucking
they
Carl
don't know how they
Anthony
lose. They
Towns.
didn't, bro. He didn't lose.
Carl Anthony
All he had
Towns
to
won a
hide.
3-point shot.
He had the
Bro,
higher round in the second round. That's all that
Carl
happened.
Anthony Towns won a 3-point contest. So you saying Carl Anthony Towns the best shooter in the league? Are you trying to tell me
No,
that?
I'm saying that as far as the whole pot, Luka Nard is the best shooter in the league, bro.
Bro, I can call Kyle Korver off the couch right now, and he's a better
Kyle
shooter
Korver
than him.
don't count. You retired. He don't count.
He
JJ
can
Redick,
retire
none of them
this year.
niggas count. And niggas don't count.
So you're telling me Luka Nard? Like,
Yes.
are you, bro?
Yes.
You gotta stop. You gotta get
Yes.
off that
He
juice.
Yes.
led in
Well,
three.
next year. Next, watch. Okay, watch when next year comes, bro.
Bubba, are you from LA too?
No, I'm a Clipper fan.
Are you from LA? Are you from California
I'm from Philly.
area? Are you from Philly? And you said,
I'm telling you, we all over. People know what's up. People know what's about to happen, man.
Like, I mean, I'm a PG fan. Whatever team Paul George played for, that's my second team. My first team always the Sixers.
Hey, Will, you hear that, Will? And James Frodden on the Philadelphia 76ers, he's a PG fan. What does that say?
That's fine. I'm not tripping. None of these teams my team. I'm a Heat fan. I don't care who plays for them. I don't care.
Bro, you just said you're not a Heat fan.
No, I said I am a Heat fan. I don't care who plays for them. Like, I'm just a Heat fan. Like, I ain't worried about none of that. I love the culture. That's how I used to play. Physical.
Yeah.
Hey, Will.
Stop calling me that name, my man.
Hey, when we get this championship next year, you gotta come out here for the parade.
My dog. Listen, I will streak down the street if y'all win. If y'all win next year, I would streak. I would take all my clothes off, including my socks. I'll run up and I'll get arrested.
Bro, record that part.
I'll go live myself. If y'all win next year off someone coming off a ACL tear and somebody that's meh in the playoffs, besides how you been playing, like I'm cool with that, bro. I take that L. But Kawhi Leonard, he's not marketable, dude. I've told you what the NBA is, dog. The NBA is based off marketability. When all those guys left from we talked about this. Don't act like we didn't. I predicted everything that happened. Did I not?
So when Kawhi won 2 years ago, was he marketable?
No, he wasn't. But I told you what happened. Me and you talked about that in depth about when everybody got hurt. Did we not?
We did.
I changed my pick, and I told you why it's gonna happen. Did it happen like I said? Did he go to the team that I told you he was gonna go to?
Yes, he did.
Okay. All right.
But you all know next year it's set up for them to win.
When the Heat lost in the finals, did I tell you the reason why?
Yeah, marketability. Of course, it was going to be the Lakers.
Okay.
But this,
I told you.
The Clippers are a marketable team. That's what I'm saying. They are a marketable team. They got the new.
You have a team full of people with no personalities.
No, they got personalities on that team.
No, you don't got no personalities on that team,
bro. Paul George has a personality. What you talking about?
Paul George got a personality, maybe personally, but not to the masses, dog.
You don't think? First of all, Paul George.
What commercials do you see Paul George in?
He's been in a few commercials, like back in the early days. But like he ain't the best player.
What about the Iron King commercial? What about
that? He ain't been. Kawhi got commercials too. What you mean?
Are you, boy?
Bro, he got New Balance commercials. He got commercials out there.
You wear New Balances?
I don't wear them.
Do you got the Kawhi?
I'm telling you.
Do you have the Kawhis?
If he wins the championship, yes, there will be.
That's your man. On your partner. You got the shoes?
No, I ain't wearing those.
Do you have them? That's the question.
But what does that got to do with personality, though?
That's what I'm saying. That's the marketability of the league.
I wouldn't wear them Steph Curry, but it don't mean he got a personality. Steph Curry, he got a personality, but I wouldn't wear his shoes. Just because I wouldn't wear his
personality. He has a personality that's relatable to middle America, dog.
Man.
Bigger than what you think. Look at all the champions from the boom of everything that's going on. Look at it. Look at it. Look at all the champions and what they appeal to.
Giannis don't have a personality
All
like
right, bro.
that.
I ask you a
What the,
question
what
on this though,
what does he appeal to? The international. Okay.
bro. I want to ask you a quick question.
Who
When
you wanna?
Detroit beat the Lakers, they didn't have no
I was knew he was going to
Oh
say
no,
that. I
no,
was just
that's why
thinking it.
I said in the new boom of things. I
in
wasn't
the new.
talking about
Okay,
the.
got you.
I was specifically talking about with the internet era, how they trying to expand. What Detroit did was an anomaly.
Well, how do you? Okay, well that's how. Okay, let me ask you this question.
That
Then
was
why
an
do you think
anomaly.
the Heat can win the championship? None of them dudes got a personality.
They're marketable, dude. They're marketable to
Give me a
middle
couple
America,
commercials.
Bro,
hardworking.
nobody promotes the Heat like that, man. They
I
get so
said
disrespected.
middle America is hard, quote unquote, hard working people that puts their head down and continues to push harder, no matter what's going on or what obstacles. That's what they say middle America is, correct?
That's what they say, but I don't
That's what
think
they
people look
say. With
people.
Toronto, when the Toronto won, they pushed the international game being an international team because yeah, they in the NBA, but what are they now? That's why they have the Mexican. Um,
Bro,
they look at all the man. Look at everything, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know anything. You'll see. You'll see.
So that's why I want to ask a question. So are you saying that more champions are already decided?
Hey, bro, I'm not no NBA insider, man. I just look at the signs.
I be
Just
thinking
but
that
the
too, man. I ain't
look
gonna lie,
at
but
look
I want
look
to
look
put my
look look
money
but
on it.
I'm not
look at
getting
look
with.
at the game. Look how the game went, right? Look how the game's been going. You've been wanting to have regular season games in London and all these places in Mexico, all these places. That's what they've been planning on. If you look at the NBA, what you call it, NBA news, that's kind of ducked under between the trades, the beefs, or whatever. That's what's going on. If you look at it, far as the tournaments, kind of like the FIBA tournaments, stuff like that, the Euro leagues and stuff like that. The developmental leagues that was in Africa, all these places, they trying to make it like a soccer league. So what are you gonna do? You gonna just have regular black people? I mean, I don't know if I get in trouble on YouTube or your monetization, but far as what you have going on, you're gonna have a bunch of people that does not appeal maybe to the other side of the world. Just continue to do that, or do you need a catalyst to push the narrative? Like, hey, we're close.
My only thing is I'm like confused on is that you said Miami's a middle class working team. Now the Clippers, what they represent is an underdog mentality more than anybody in the
You
NBA.
have the most. You have
That's marketable.
your owner is the biggest owner in the league. What are you
Right.
talking
The
about?
richest
You
in the
don't have
league.
a
Yep.
middle class
That's
owner.
no. I'm not
Miami.
talking about owner. I'm talking about mentality of the team. That's what's gonna be on the screen. Like it's not gonna be Steve Ballmer. It's gonna be the team, and they
Bro, you
have
see
the.
Steve Ballmer everywhere, dog.
And even him, you don't even look at. He's at the games like a fan. Like he don't look like no $1 billion owner. That's a
He
relatable.
also just started a $10 billion arena.
So everything is set up for them to have a championship. They go into a new arena in Inglewood and they raise that banner,
My
and that's
dog, say, bud.
what's gonna
I
happen.
mean, say, brother. Next year, you guys are not winning. That's all I'm telling you.
Okay.
So when you lose, I want you to. When you lose, I don't. I'm gonna go. Whoever win the championship, because I'm not predicting who wins it. I just know y'all gonna lose. I'm gonna go to that championship parade, and I want you to streak down that championship parade. Because I said I'll streak down your team.
Okay.
Like no, like the Pelicans. The Pelicans will never win the championship, ever, ever. No matter what happens, unless the world turns upside down. No matter how good the players we have, we're never gonna win the championship down here. Never gonna happen. Memphis, John Moran is not gonna take them to a championship or win a championship. Not gonna happen, man. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna.
But I don't think it has much to do with the city as it does the player. Like Giannis just went.
Memphis team this year is better than that Toronto team that year. far as
That
the
was,
far as
yeah,
the role players.
but they didn't have a Kawhi on that team. That's the difference. See, that's the difference.
Y'all
When you
played
got,
against a team that wasn't even healthy. You played against
but
a Kevin Durant-less team, Klay Thompson-less team. Like, dog, what are you talking about?
But
well,
bro, they play Philly.
talk about exactly. Talk about the rounds before that.
They play
Don't just
Philly.
I'm
act
talking
like
about when you got
don't
there. I'm
start
saying,
the
I'm
finals.
saying specifically when you got there.
Okay, that's
BJ,
true. But
BJ,
I'm like,
BJ,
I'm
BJ,
thinking,
you know I can't say what I want to say on this thing because it's this YouTube stuff. But me and you talk about a lot of things and everything I told you for even for the NFL stuff, man. Told you, and it's not no conspiracy theory. You seen it. You seen the tea leaves for yourself.
yeah, I'm just saying when we get health, when we're healthy next year, man, I gotta win it all because
I, I,
it's been it's been a year of a lot of disappointment because of injury, man. That's the only thing that's held us back was injury.
you know y'all get injured next year. I don't want you to renege your bet.
Oh man, you got to knock on wood on that one. Damn.
When you if it happened, hey bro, don't renege your bet.
If we
Don't
get
renege that
injured,
bet. Don't
yeah.
renege that
If
bet.
we
I'll
get
be like,
injured,
yeah.
man,
If Paul George loses shoulders again, don't tell me nothing. I'm gonna just need my money.
man, if he get injured, man, how can you honor a bet when the guy ain't playing?
What, bro? You are bull crap. You
How
bull
could you
crap.
honor a bet that when a guy gets hurt though?
Because that's what sports is about wins and losses, and it's not about the in between. It's about the bottom line. Chris Paul had a torn left quad. Do anybody cares about that? No, we talk about how he falls short, and that's it. We don't talk about he was actually had a torn quad.
Bro, he wasn't hurt. Come
Yeah,
on.
hey
That's
man,
what
this
I
the
mean.
report. This the
My thing again, he
reports.
was out there playing. Like Kawhi
Right.
can physically play. That's the difference.
Kawhi could have came
You
back.
can't.
Kawhi could have came back this year.
That's all speculation.
Oh, that's all speculation now. Come on, man.
That's all speculation. I believed he could too, but once he didn't come back, I can't say oh he could have came back. That's
Bro,
speculation.
Durant came back from a from Achilles, dog.
How long was he
Achilles.
out for?
He was out for
A
10
year.
months.
A year and a
10 months.
half.
No, 10 months playing. 10 months playing time. Remember, because stoppage and all that kind of elongated it. But if you're talking about straight NBA season, it's just 10 months. Just 10
Bro, it was more than
months.
10 months. Because he played
No,
in December.
He
no.
was out for longer than that. Well, he wasn't out for 10
Stop
months.
calling
Yeah,
me
he
that
got
name.
hurt. He got hurt in July. He came back in 2020 December.
Yeah, he was out for he was out for at least a
And
year.
It
he
was
came back.
a
Okay,
year and a
okay.
half.
Let me see. So no, take away a couple of months because of the stoppage. But anyway, the whole point is he came back killing.
The next season. Killing.
He
Yep.
came back killing. So if
Right.
Kawhi have a slow season, don't tell me nothing.
Bro, he gonna come out the gate. Already he ain't gonna
Oh
be
my God, don't tell me nothing.
okay.
I want an
I'm just gonna let
autograph
you see.
Kawhi jersey. You gonna get pregnant, bro. You gonna get
Nah,
pregnant. All this riding you doing, man. You gonna get pregnant, and when you get pregnant, don't tell me, "Oh man, it was a mistake." I would
nah,
take a
that
plan B or something because that's
I still just
BS.
gotta wait. Just gotta wait, man. Just wait and see.
Well, since we bringing that up, do you think he's gonna be? Because I remember your video that you had with Ticket. Do you think he's gonna be there for the first game of the season?
Uh, I believe he will.
He
Um,
should.
if he, I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't. He play the first game. Like it's you know he's had a full season to be off and he got a chance to chill. So at the end of the day, it's like he should be back. I expect him to play like 65 games by next season, 65, 70 games.
I don't think so. With
I think.
his load management thing, he not gonna play 70 games.
Well, I'll give him 65. I don't care how many, as long as he plays somewhere around there and he's in the playoff healthy. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. And then go from there. So, hey, but it was a good talk with y'all, man. Uh, Be back on here tomorrow. Talk about the predictions.
One last thing, BJ, I gotta ask. I seen this on Reddit. Hopefully, it's not true. They saying Mook. They said Philadelphia is looking for a shooting power for him, and Mook liked the picture on it on Twitter. Man, I'm hoping you
Who?
got some insight.
Who did it?
You say
Marcus
what?
Morris.
Say it again.
Mook liked the picture on Twitter that said Philadelphia looking for a power forward that can shoot. So they looking for, and they specifically said Marcus Morris is one of the options they looking for, and he liked the picture.
Yeah, I seen that too. I don't put too much stock in that. I think Mook's gonna come back to the Clippers. Because this is the best year for them to get a championship. Like after you gotta think about it.
You want
It's not,
championship as a role player, or you want money?
bro, that's what you get when you younger, man.
As you are a role player. He's a role player. You want that bread, or you want a championship?
It depends, man.
Nigga, championship ain't gonna pay my bills.
Well,
Ain't
that's
gonna pay
you,
my
but I'm
kids' bills.
saying there's people out there who want a championship, man. Like there's people out there who wanna win a championship.
What year he in? 10th, 12th? What year?
Something like
Yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah, he going in his 12.
Question: y'all want money or y'all want a championship?
Man, like I said, I don't. It's a depends.
It depends. Yeah,
I
It's
mean, it
not.
ain't like he not actually contributing.
Yeah, he won big. He the leader of the team.
Bro, I'll be a
Mook's the
Kevin. I'll
leader.
be a Kevin Ollie before I'm like a Chris Paul.
Well, yeah, Mook is the leader of the team, man. Like they understand what's at stake, man. Like he
At
can get.
stake, you mean just making the playoff? That's what's at stake.
Oh my gosh,
But
this guy,
bro, y'all listen, y'all was y'all playing team this year?
bro. Did you not see? I mean, I'm not.
yeah,
Were
I'm not
y'all a
gonna
bro.
playing
see what
in
he do.
team?
See what he do. He completely takes context out of it, but he don't want. He wants to say, "Oh, you was a playing team." Now he don't want to mention that Kawhi missed the whole season and PG played only like 29 games in the
That's
season.
sports though, man.
That's sports,
I'm a
but
I
it's
mean,
not
Saints
gonna
fan.
happen
Did I
next
cry?
year. You
Cleveland
can't put that as
I'm
the
a Saints
measuring
fan.
stick.
I'm a Saints fan. Did I cry when Jameis Winston got hurt? No. Did
But
I?
but that's not the measuring stick though. You
But
can't say, oh, because that happened now. That okay? Did you make the play? And you know good and well why it was that situation because of what happened. That's
you
all
know
I'm
why his
saying.
brother not complaining? You want to know why his brother not complaining? Because he making money and he on a team that's winning. You gonna pay him veteran minimum
Bro, that's not for
to play
me to
on it?
say. That that's not for me to say. I'm saying the Clippers, if they were gonna trade him or get rid of him, they would have probably did it by now. They've been
So
talking about Mook getting rid of like since last year, man. That man ain't going nowhere.
okay, all right, man. When it happen, don't
We gonna all I want you to do is have them pictures ready for next year, nigga. Cause yeah.
why you cursing, man? I've been trying my best not to curse.
Well, we've been on the live for 3 hours. Yeah.
I ain't been on this long. Hey, bro, I gotta go teach my kids in the morning, man. I'll holler at y'all.
All right, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right. I'll hit y'all later, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, bro. You too.
Uh,
Peace.
All right, man. Love.